It's the time you're burned. Show tune in right now. Like and share, our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Turn your burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. Renew, step it all renews.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Look, happy Saturday. Listen, Producer Jay, how you doing?
What's going on? Good morning. Good morning.
You know, you slightly threatened me last night.
No, see, don't do that.
It's like, don't send me nothing else now. You know, I got something to do. I can't be here all day. Listen, if you are joining us, I want to say thank you to everyone that has taken the time out and you are joining us this morning. Kawana, Brianna must have been Big Daddy, Patrick, Jean. I saw Jessica on it. Now, y'all know I cannot keep up with the chat. Auntie M, guess who? Avis Hopkins. Everyone, if you are, I ain't going. I just like saying that. I just like saying, I ain't going. So listen, I appreciate each and every one. We got a lot to cover. This is a year in review 2024. But we're going to pick up when we get to that part at December 20th, 2023, because it rolled on over. But thank you, Brianna's busted being shot. Thank you. So I need everybody, look, click, like, and share. And thank you for the super sticker donations. Sheena, good morning. So listen, I have a very special guest. We've been talking about it. We can bring her up. Her name is Beverly Lewis. She is the director of Hasselbring Center. She has ran her 501c3 effectively, efficiently with a shoestring budget. And I'm supporting her and the seniors. Good morning, Beverly.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't had any coffee yet, but I'm working on it. So
I have my cup right here. Good morning, everyone in the chat. Producer Jay.
So, Producer Jay, without you, I could not do this. I don't think people understand. I think one day this week we were on the phone like it was at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so when we were producing and doing the show and making sure my content has real and factual information, not speculative, it makes a difference. It does. So with what's going on, first of all, I talk about Hasselbring every show.
Yes.
And I talk about our seniors. 3 deal breakers for me: seniors, veterans, and children. Those are an important demographic. Good morning, Patrick Jean. Can we throw that up there on the screen? Producer Jay, look, we appreciate y'all for your clicks, likes, shares, your subscription, and your donations, because this show is only possible because of donations from viewers and people like you who support the podcast. I get nothing from this. Zero. I don't take a dime. I don't take a penny, a nickel. I take nothing. Zero. Good morning, Clack, Melissa. I get nothing because people's voices need to get out like Beverly Lewis's. And this is a way to make sure the voices are heard in issues and situations. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. But right now, The focus is Miss Beverly Lewis. Miss Beverly Lewis, tell us who you are and what's going on.
I am Beverly Lewis. I am the executive director of Hasselbring Senior Center. I've been there since July 2017. And what's going on? Man, it's a lot to unpack. We don't have enough time to unpack it all. But basically, Hasselbring and the city have started negotiations for a lease. We haven't had an active lease since September 2016. There's been no talk about a lease until January this year. We started meeting February the 1st. Back and forth, went back and forth over and over again. And finally, my board was like, this is enough. Let's just go ahead and sign the lease the way it is. Although there were a few things in there that we were not happy with. But let me state number one. We did not have a problem with the $500 because you have people out there saying, oh, they didn't want to pay any rent. They wanted it to stay at $1. We didn't argue with the point of paying rent, but we were totally opposed to the initial ask of over $4,000.
$4,586.67.
Correct. And so got negotiated down to $2,250, then got negotiated down to $1,500. And then finally got it down to $500. So we were comfortable with $500. We said we could do that without issue. But there are a couple of other things in the lease that we felt, number one, was unfair.
What are those things?
Okay, so for starters, let's talk about repairs. So this building, almost everything to the building is original. We have had some work done in the last couple of years. We can talk about that in a little bit. But all of your plumbing, your HVAC, all of those things, your foundation, everything is original to this building that was built in the 80s. And so the city wanted us to pay. We were under the impression that it was $2,500 a year towards repairs. We didn't feel that was an unreasonable ask. In the previous lease, it was $1,000. So we didn't think it was an unreasonable ask when you look at the cost of inflation and all of that. But once the lease was sent to us, it was $2,500 each repair, which essentially they probably wouldn't be paying for any repairs on their own building. We have no equity in this building, but we're using it, landlord-tenant, but the other thing was our rentals. So we rent out the auditorium to community members, anybody who wants to rent it, for $500. They want control over that. They want to know who's renting, who, name, address, phone number, the purpose, how much they're paying, and then they also want to know whether or not alcohol would be involved. Now, mind you, with that statement, whether or not alcohol would be involved, but they were allowing alcohol to be involved. Right. And then they wanted initially 25% of each of our rentals. At that amount, I told them, well, we will not be doing rentals because at 25%, we wouldn't have anything left to do what we need to do. Number one, I have one staff member who is completely paid out of those funds. I have and then I have other like overtime that's not allotted in our millage money to cover. Also, I have to pay someone to come and open. I have to pay someone to come and clean up after each rental and to secure the building at the end of the day. So at 25%, that would have left plus let's talk about also additional utilities. There's additional water, there's additional gas and electricity for every rental. So at the end of the day, it would not have made sense for us to even have rentals if we had to pay 25%, but we did settle on 10%. Now, those two things with the repairs and with the rentals, we did not agree to. Every time, we were like, no, no. Number one, why are you trying to involve yourself in our organization and what we're doing? We're just renting from you. You're just a landlord. Why are you trying to do that? So every time we said no to something, the threat was always, well, we'll just, have the center put up for bid and let somebody else come in and run services. Well, so we signed. my board president signed the lease on the 19th of July. It was taken to council. When it was taken to council, our budget, the amount of money we get every year, was over exaggerated. There were questions that were asked by council that did not get answers. And so I made sure that I provided those answers for council and the correct information to council. So when it went to special affairs, council dismissed it.
Right.
So then we got accused of saying we didn't want to pay $500, this, that, and the other. Well, I kept my seniors, behind the scenes on all this. They knew we were in negotiations, but I didn't want to stress them about the situation. So once it went to council and there was a lot of talk about it, I didn't even know it had gone to council until the next day when my phone started ringing off the hook. The seniors found out and they were upset. With, well, what happened to the dollar? It's always been $1. Why not $1 now? Well, the city said that was their way of contributing to the seniors by giving us the center for $1. So, seniors protested. They came out, they spoke to council. But at the end of the day, council agreed. Council is the one who suspended it, right? But we're being accused of, or I am being accused of, going against everything that was in the lease. And my only issue are those two things: the rental interference and the amount for the repairs. Those were my only issues. We appreciate council standing up for us and saying, hey, it's for the seniors. It should only be $1. I agree, but I'm not going to oppose paying some rent. So everything has gone haywire. We've been accused of illegally having alcohol. We've been accused of serving alcohol. We've been accused of a whole lot of things that just is not true. So the fight is on.
So the alcohol is not the issue.
It's not. It's what they will claim is the issue. It's what they initially claimed was the issue once council rejected it. Right?
So let me be clear. So council, what I felt, and I'll speak for me, there needed to be some things worked on.
Yes.
And so one, if we're really talking about a fair contract, my park in my ward pays $1 for 10 years,
Yes.
$1 per year for 10 years.
Yes.
And so if we're talking about a fair and equitable contract, not $4,586.67, it needs to be corrected. I felt that you guys need to, you and the mayor's administration, because they have to negotiate that. We could amend it. So when they initially brought it forward, then when they brought it back, we've had some legal issues. Like I've said, they're out lawyering us.
Yes.
We should have been able to amend that contract. The attorney Cups was stating, no, you can't amend it. We've always amended things from the floor. And I don't think that he just understood that's me. And so when it came back up, and it was going to come back up, but it had to be someone who voted in the affirmative for it to come back up. But here's the thing: you're in the first one, and I'm not putting you in this part at all. But it to me should be, even though it serves the county and your dollars, does the city give any funding for this for the
Not
senior
$1.
program?
Not $1.
Not $1.
Not $1.
Not $1.
All of our funding, our regular budget comes from senior millage.
Which comes from the county.
Which is from the county. That's $137,923 annually. And they don't just give me a check for that amount. I have to, do my pay my bills and turn in a request monthly, right? And so we are allowed 1/12 of our budget each month to spend towards the things that we need to take care of. But we get, so we write grants, we get donations, different things like that. As a 501c3, we're entitled to beg, is what I've been told. And not always uncomfortable with that. And so, they kind of drilled it into me. Baby, you're a 501c3. You have a license to beg, and that's what you should be doing. If you don't have enough money to cover everything that you need to cover, then that's what you need to do. And I didn't say it before, but also the rentals help cover the overage, after the millage is gone. I looked at it last year. We spent $60-something thousand over, just taking care of our regular monthly expenses,
So some of the things you pay for consumers, which is around, I believe, what I would say wintertime, $900 per month. You pay for parking lot lights, that's $250 a month.
Mhm.
You pay for some of the snow removal now.
No, all of the snow removal, and that can
Okay,
go anywhere from $225 a month to $1,500 a month, depending on how much snow we get. Like already for December, I have not received the bill yet, but I'm pretty sure we're already over 750 because when we had the ice last week,
right.
because we had people in the
And
building.
it had to be
And so
salted
it had,
too.
yes. And that's one thing I can tell you. People always compliment us on our parking lot. I have a great company that I'm working with, and high five and shouts out to him. I won't call him out on your show, but
No, you can.
okay,
Absolutely.
Ronnie Anderson, Crow Cutters. I mean, they do a fantastic job. I'm always coming in early. I can come in at 6:30, and if they haven't already been there and left, they're working on it when I get there. So I can appreciate that. We are a priority. He takes care of my seniors, make sure, and he'll come back throughout the day as many times as needed to plow and or salt. So, I pay for one plow a day. If it snows all day long, I only have to pay for him to plow one time, but for salting, it's each occasion, right? So it
Okay.
can be anywhere from 225 for just one salting to 750 for more plows and salting throughout the day, depending on the weather. But that's per month, right? So I'm not
Okay.
saying that much per day.
So
But
you're doing
yes, adds
900 for consumers, which is
up.
your heating and
And
food.
900 to 1,200 depending on, and I will say this, since we have the electricity upgraded, it has been a little bit closer to the 900 rather than over 1,000. And the parking lot lights are right around 250, 265. Utilities, the water is anywhere from like 480 to 550. Occasionally we'll have one that'll go way up. A couple months ago it was six something. I don't know why, but it was.
Right.
um I have cleaning supplies. I have staff. We have, I mean, just regular things, office supplies, things that we have to run a business. So I don't have the budget in front of me and I can't always think of everything, right
No,
off the top
and
of my
that's fine. I
head.
wanted to give people a generalization. So you're paying 900, 250, 500. You're paying for snow removal. You
Mhm.
pay for your own insurance for the
Yes.
building.
Hmm.
You pay for, is it 3 part-time staffers?
Yes.
You get no funding from the city, and
None.
you have not received funding as far as ARPA for programming, have
No,
you?
no, not a
Okay.
penny.
How many seniors how many seniors come through there monthly or yearly?
So yearly, we're just under 1,000. We are actually trying to get to a level 3. We're a level 2 right now. So level 3 is 1,000. So the last few months, we've actually hit that 1,000. And with that 1,000, that's counting each senior who comes one time. And so we've actually hit it, but it hasn't been enough yet to affect our status to be able to move us up. So come March this year, we should be well over the 1,000 to go up to the next level, which would give us more senior millage money to operate. But on average week, 250 to 300 individuals that come through. Yeah. Now, another thing too that people don't understand is even though I have that many seniors coming through, my
Mhm.
millage only counts seniors that are 60 and over. Our enrollment is open to seniors 50 and over. So that makes a difference. They don't cover anything from 50 to 59. Another reason why we need to have the fundraising, the rentals, right? So because there are things that we do, we can't put everything into the millage because we are servicing seniors who are under the age of eligibility for senior millage dollars.
So what type of programming do you offer?
Oh, we have some everything. We have educational programs, we have computer, we have smartphone. We actually had a program a few months ago where I think we had 30 people who attended a 4-week session. They learned everything about how to go online, how to operate and effectively use a laptop. And at the end of the session, each of them received a free laptop, and that was through partnership with Flint Innovative Solutions.
And
We have
that's Athena McKay.
Athena McKay, that's my girl. It's yeah, we have all kind of education. We have health stuff. You know, I do an annual health fair every year. I do a senior spa day every March. We have exercise class. We have nutrition classes. We have a lot. We do outreach. We have social services. We provide senior food boxes for seniors who are income eligible, and our number has gone up now to 85 boxes. We actually gave out boxes yesterday. We usually get them the fourth Friday of every month, and our seniors come and pick them up. I have 2 staff members out there loading them up in their cars, and all they got to do is just drive up, get their box, and drive on. We have a produce pantry every Friday where Logan, he was initially doing an internship with Community Foundation, but his internship ended, but he enjoyed working with and serving the seniors so much that he kept it going. So he gets produce from Flint Fresh every Friday. He brings it in, and the seniors are able to take home fresh vegetables and well, I'm just gonna say produce, because fruit and vegetable every week, and that is a huge program. We run out within the first hour every week, and he has enough. We started with giving 20, and now he's over 50.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
he's serving over 50, and this has only been a couple of months that he's been doing it. So it's a very good program. I have Nurse T comes in on Friday, and her team, Dr. Gordon, and some of the other nurses and healthcare professionals. They come in every Friday, and they just do education. They talk to the seniors about whatever the seniors want to talk about, you know. So that's a wonderful program. And you know, sometimes their schedule gets bounced around and they're not able to be there, but they try to make sure that somebody's there. So we started also with what is it called? Tia Coles. She's not with the program anymore. Trauma recovery.
Okay.
And you know, just one-on-one counseling, educating the seniors that, you know, what trauma is. It doesn't have to be, you know, someone was murdered or, you know, something like that. It could be any kind of trauma that the seniors are going through. A lot of our seniors right now, believe it or not, are really traumatized from our election that we just had in November, right? So we're getting ready to launch a program for that. You know, we have some extra election grant fund dollars left over. So we're going to be bringing in someone from trauma recovery to, you know, come in and have a weekly session with the seniors. You know, they can talk about it or not. They can just listen if that's what they're comfortable with doing. But we just, you know, we have an exercise room that has an elliptical, a stationary bike, a treadmill, the weight trainer. We have a class that has actually been suspended right now for a little while. That's called cardio drumming, and it's only suspended because our instructor's husband is going through some medical issues right now, so she needs to divert her time to him, which is understandable. But we have so many programs. We serve a healthy lunch every day. To our seniors, any seniors that want to sign up, if they're 60 and over, it's free. If they're under 60, they do have to pay a few dollars, but it's still not much.
So what is it that you want us to do? You got it. And if we could put up the flyer, because you do so much programming with a shoestring budget.
Yes, ma'am.
And you should not have to, our seniors should not at this point have to beg.
Right.
At all. You should have more than enough funding. One of the things that's important, ARPA funds, you're eligible. You are. And so you received and let me, if we can leave that up to producer Jack, you received a notice to vacate for January the 5th, a notice to vacate.
Yes.
And basically you're being forced out. And I have always said, this is the same as House of Esther being forced out. I've always said it. And so when we're talking about this, the seniors it's dividing this community even further.
It is.
And the uncertainty. So with your funding comes from the county. You basically rent the building from the city.
Mm-hmm.
The city was going to lose the building. It was going to be set up for auction.
Mm-hmm.
When it went under emergency management, Councilman Eric Mays was instrumental in creating a nonprofit to
Yes.
save the building.
Yes.
And therefore, somewhere in these, we know that you got to have the nonprofit created to receive the funding from the senior millage.
Yes.
And so, of course, this is on the north side of Flint. So before we're going to leave this flyer, what were your thoughts when you received the notice to vacate January the 5th?
So the first thing was, this has got to be a joke, but we all know it's not a joke. Then my mind went back. Okay, so when they initially sent our lease to council for approval and it was rejected, I want to throw in there that between that time and the time that we got the notice to quit, they have not answered any requests to come back to the table to have conversation. Now, in all honesty, I believe in being transparent. The first week, the week of the first time it went to council, I did get a call. I was out of town at a conference. I got a text, actually, a voice message, asking that I meet with Ed Taylor and the attorney. And I had already made it very clear to the mayor prior to us even signing the lease that I would not meet with Mr. Taylor ever again because he's so disrespectful. And I was not going to subject myself to that. I told him I'll talk to anybody you bring to the table, but he is not one that I will talk to. So after that, we reached out personally to the mayor, to his team for a meeting. Nothing. I believe my number is even blocked at this point in time. My personal cell is blocked at this time because I don't even get a ring. It just connects and disconnects immediately. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, you're probably blocked.
I don't know if that's the case, but that's what it feels like.
Welcome to the block club.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. We've sent letters, emails, requesting, and nothing has happened. We've gotten not one hit on saying, yeah, we can talk. Next thing I know, it goes back to council again in November. And my opinion is that was done because now I was told, before I get my opinion, I was told before that if any resolution comes and it's rejected or whatever the word is for it, when it comes back again, there needs to be some change on it. Well, there was no change. It was the exact same. Not a sentence, a letter, a punctuation, nothing was changed. Now, back to my opinion. My opinion is that was done to give him steam to be able to file that notice to quit.
Okay.
So that's my opinion. So with the notice to quit, I'm not going to say I was shocked, right? But what bothers me more than anything is now you're messing with our seniors who are already stressed about the situation, right? They don't know what to expect. The information you're putting out here is that services are going to continue. So many of them are just confused. What do you mean services are going to continue? Now it's not about me. For me, it's about the seniors having the assurity that their programming is going to continue the way it has in the past. My issue with that is the city has had it twice and had it shut down twice and wasn't able to provide that. Then they have this meeting last week where we're going to update the seniors and tell them what we're going to do. Well, first of all, you didn't even have it at Hasselbring. You didn't have it at their home. You had it someplace else. And then you're bringing in ideas that some of them, they were like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. But a lot of them, they were like, we don't want that. That's not what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't had a conversation with your seniors. You didn't get input from the seniors on what it is they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot. It's a whole lot going on. But I will say this, at the end of the day, it's a legal issue, right? So with it being a legal issue, he's going to have to do it legally and go through the courts, or he's going to have a bigger problem than he already has.
So January the 5th, you were told to vacate, which
Yes.
means you should have to leave. You've had the city come through to send people three times to take inventory, what you felt was like harassment, no notice, pop up, show up,
Yes.
a form of intimidation.
Yes.
Also at the meeting that Mr. Taylor had, he had
Dana McDaniels.
State that you were a fraud, and all these ridiculous statements, which really makes them liable for slander. Because one, you don't have a contract. How can and Dana Daniels should have known you cannot enforce a contract that has not passed through council. See, these are the very the issues that you see with this administration. And I see someone that said that he runs it in the comment that he runs it like he's John Gotti. I say he running like Nino Brown and this New Jack City and Flint is the car. So it's so unprofessional because one, you had people scared, like, oh my God, she's doing something wrong. And no, you're not. You can't enforce, number one, scheduling. You don't have a contract. In order, it has not been completely vetted, signed off by the legal department, voted on by council. Therefore, you cannot enforce the contract. You don't have one. You are on a month-to-month tenancy.
Absolutely.
And that is something that the city uses, and these men scaring people. And it angers me because that's not what we're about. The mayor could care less. When he's saying, hey, you're gone, I don't care. He did it to House Sylvester. So you're saying, you know what? I'm fighting back.
Yes, ma'am.
You have ran a responsible nonprofit. Your 990s are in order. When you received that they had not been running a profit. You spend very wisely. You make it work with what you have.
Yes.
And the thing is, they don't care. They don't care. And so without the care, and they're going to take it over. And first of all, the mayor has problems with the city. We are on like our fifth or sixth CFO. He's on like his fifth or sixth communications director. We are our finance, the CFO, finance director,
attorneys.
With all these attorneys. Well, Joanne Gurley just started back, but she had left. But that department gone. Even the one who caused all these problems, Attorney Kim, he had started these issues because you cannot be a good attorney underneath Mayor Neely because he forces you to do the things because you are appointed by the mayor.
Right.
And so when we talk about what you're going through, he doesn't care. I'm the mayor. I'm going to use city funds to get rid of you because I can do that. And you can't stop me. And that's his attitude. And then I'm going to lie about it. And I'm going to send the police to threaten you. I'm going to send an officer who gave his whole bio, which had nothing to do with the seniors, and then said, and that's fraud. And if you're over 65, that's another form of fraud. Well, he lied. He didn't know what he wasn't taught. He didn't know what he was talking about. But the ineptness of this whole thing. And so now they're going to bring in six people. Were to staff. Why not make those funds available? And here's the spin, because everything's got to spin. Oh, we're going to give 100% of the fund. You operate everything on $137,000. That is not a lot of money. That is with the staff, 3 part-timers, fundraising, and then they want to come in because I don't even want to get into what he's mad because it's petty. It's petty. It's petty. So you are having on Sunday, January 5th at 7:00 p.m. through Monday, January 6th at 7 a.m. You are having a senior sleepover. And your flyer is up here. And it says, and listen, everyone, if you're in here, please click like, share, and subscribe. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And so on here, you have got show support for Hasselbring Senior Center, Seniors and Administration by participating in the fun event. Lots of activities will be happening. So tell us about this flyer.
So I'm going to start by saying this idea came about because some of our seniors are aware of what happened at House Esther. And they're afraid that even though the notice to quit, if we're not gone by January 6th, should be taken to the court, and then they get an eviction notice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of our seniors are afraid that they will do the same thing that they did to House to Esther and try to come in and lock us out. Okay. So they were like, well, well, we need to spend a night. Some of us need to spend a night. We need to be here so we know what they're going to do. So this is how this idea, came about. And so, of course, the seniors are not going to be sleeping. We're going to be having fun. We're going to be watching movies. Well, some of them might sleep. I'm not going to say nobody, but, it's not just for seniors. It's for seniors and our supporters. We have so many people out there who are supporting our efforts, who are supporting us in this fight. And so the seniors need to see who these people are. They need to know that they have people behind what it is they want. Now, I can say out of the whole bunch of seniors that I have coming through this center, there's probably only 3 that are really, like, oh, okay, well, she can be gone. She can be gone. She can be gone. All the rest, I have no issues with. I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting people stopping by my office all the time. Hugs, love, donations, what have you. They are happy with their programming. They are happy with their programming, and they don't want to see a change. Right. But, at the end of the day, I tell them all, I'm going to do my best to fight for you and for what you want, but it's in God's hands at the end of the day. So I can't say that we're going to continue at that location or if we'll have to leave and go somewhere else. So in the meantime, y'all want to sleep over? Let's do a sleepover.
I think that's a great idea. So because your funding comes from the county.
Yes.
Tell me, your funding comes from the county, and I was under the assumption that you were re-awarded the senior funds in September of 2024.
Yes, for the October 1st through September 30th fiscal year of this year. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so what will happen to your funding if you're not in this building?
So we had a long discussion from February all the way until a week ago that my opinion was that the funding would go with us because the contract is in our name. We are Hasselbring Senior Center, the 501c3 organization who has the contract with the county. That building is not Hasselbring Senior Center. It has a whole new name. That name is not in that contract. So my understanding was that the money would go with us should we be forced to leave the building. There were people, I might as well put out, the commissioner had a different opinion. And so I have been trying to get support from other people who were involved in the organization of it back in 2015-16 that knew. And so I finally got people to tell me, but I didn't have anything in writing. So I had a meeting where the Commissioner Lloyd was in attendance. And I made that statement, that, we were on opposite ends of the opinion of that. And there were some people in the room who were a part of the original organization. And so I guess when I left, there must have been some type of conversation, I'm assuming. But I did get a call from Commissioner Lloyd who says, you're right. The funding is in your name. It will go with you if you leave. However, you would have to apply for a change of address. Well, that's common sense. And that's just, regular, specifics in a contract anyway. So of course, if we're going to be operating at a different address, we would have to, go and request that change. But he did also say that the city of Flint is eligible or can apply for their own funding through senior millage as well. So I'm not even going to touch that piece. I'm going to let the city figure that out for themselves and what they need to do. But at the end of the day, I'm being told by senior services that our funding goes with us should we be forced to move. Now, what that does, though, we are in search of a new location just in case, because there's going to be some civil litigation here. No ifs, ands.
Would you like to go back to the table with this administration?
Absolutely. That's what I've been requesting since, what was it, August 7th or 12th? Since August 12th. That's what I've been requesting.
Okay.
And
So
so,
you,
I mean, that is the most reasonable thing to do. You know, that would be the thing that causes my seniors the least stress, right?
mhm,
But at the end of the day, it's not my decision. They know I'm willing, but they appear not to be willing.
okay. So in this, because I'm gonna wrap this section. So you
Mhm.
have the sleepover, and if
Yes.
we could put up the GoFundMe. So the sleepover is January the 5th, and
Mhm.
it begins at 7 o'clock p.m. and
Mhm.
it goes to Monday at 7 o'clock a.m. You
Mhm.
also have a GoFundMe because you're incurring legal fees. So
Yes.
you have
That we
got
don't have money to cover.
but you don't, well, you're a nonprofit. You're a nonprofit. And unfortunately, the city has unlimited.
Mhm.
Um, and so with having unlimited, producer Jana, if we can put the go, I know the GoFundMe is in the stream. I did see it
Yeah,
in the
it's
stream.
in the stream.
And
And then if people want to know, they can also find it on the Hasselbring Senior Center Facebook page as well.
okay.
And then the newsletter just went out as well. And so if any of our community members or seniors receive the newsletter, mostly it's going to be through email. There are not very many that we mail out anymore. That information for the GoFundMe, also the Hasselbring Cash App, all of that information is in there. Um, as well. But if you don't mind, Tanya, I did want to address something real quick because on the GoFundMe, so I want to give a shout out to Angela who um supports us 100%. She's nowhere close to being a senior, but she has been doing everything even prior to the lease negotiations coming up. Since I've been there, she has always been in the background helping us with different things that we need help with. And so she took it upon herself to create this GoFundMe page, knowing that we needed to have some kind of monies uh,
Mhm.
to retain an attorney to pay the legal fees. And so I've got I was looking at the page to be able to tell you how much have been donated so far, and it was $400, as I said earlier. But there were a couple of comments um, that was in the chat where somebody said, accept the fact that the city has decided to go in another direction and go on with your lives. Don't start scamming poor people out of money. And I won't read the rest of that. Y'all can see it for yourself.
Well, let's not address that because what you do is something that's
Yeah,
positive.
but what I want to say
Yeah.
about that is that GoFundMe is not a scam, right?
No.
There
And
are people.
you have had two attorneys.
Right, right. There are people who put up GoFundMe's for whatever they want to. If they want to go buy a car, they can do a GoFundMe for that. But if you click on the page and click on the link, it takes you directly to exactly what we are doing, why we are seeking funds. So if you have any questions outside of what's on that page, please call me. The number at the center is 810-766-9516. If I'm not there, my staff will take a message. I will call you back. It may not be immediately, it may be later in the day. Again, the number is 810-766-9516. Call me
You're
anytime.
on Facebook also.
I am also on Facebook. In the email, hasselbring1002@gmail.com. I answer all emails as well.
So
So,
one of the questions was if you have to leave, does the furniture stay?
so
And
there are things in the building that the city has purchased. And what I'm told is anything that the city purchased will stay in the building. Anything that we have purchased with funds outside of what the city has provided goes with us. So the majority of stuff in the building goes with us because the stuff that was provided by the city, most of it was there from before it was shut down the first time, old and thrown out, tore down, whatever. So there are some things that will stay, but the majority, 90% of the items in that building will go with us.
okay.
And that's another thing that they don't understand.
So
So
what can we do to help you?
I need letters of support coming to me, going to your local leaders, your county leaders, your state leaders. I didn't think to send you that list again with the phone numbers and email addresses. But I will post it on our Facebook page. And we need money. Bottom line, we need money for this. It's going to be a legal fight. We
And
need
so you need money
attorneys.
for
We were
attorneys.
not able to get anybody to do this pro bono at all. But the attorney that we are working with, I don't want to state his name yet until he makes positive contact with the administration. And so far, he hasn't had success with that. Um, and he's only given it until the end of the month to do that. So that's what, Monday, Tuesday, whatever day. But yes, I lost my train of thought.
No, you're fine. So your information, we put up the GoFundMe. It was on the screen. It's in the chat. You have a sleepover January the 5th. And if anyone needs to contact you, you are on Facebook.
Yes, on Facebook. Yep. And look, and again, anybody is welcome to the adult age. Please don't bring no babies. But any adults are welcome to the sleepover. We're gonna be watching movies. We're gonna be playing cards. Dominoes, shooting pool, playing games for little prizes. Just doing some fun stuff. Just for people to come out and show support.
Well, I appreciate you giving me your time this morning.
Absolutely.
And of course, I will share it on my social media page.
Yes,
and like I said, information is in the chat. My prayers are with you. I am supporting the seniors in the funding to stay where it's at, but for you to get actually more funding. We don't need to, it's not broke, so we don't need to fix it. But we do need to contribute to it. So thank you for your time today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Okay, and I want to say to all of the people in the chat and even the people who watch it later, we have received so much support from the community for people who follow Tanya. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. God bless you. And listen, everybody, start your year off wonderfully blessed.
All right. See, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, producer Jay. We need to do some troubleshooting. Look, while we doing this, y'all, I need and good morning to Cynthia, Jessica, Christopher, Sheena, C.A. Patrick, Gina, Tilly. We got to do some stuff because y'all know your girl don't know Jared Breckenridge. I need you guys to click, like, share, and subscribe because this is year in review. And this is now we've look, I support that. Look, y'all click, like, share. Avis Hopkins, let's get this out there. Producer Jay, you're going to have to come on the mic and tell me what to do because your girl is messing this up. So I need to go back into stream.
Yeah, you need to reconnect it.
Okay, it says stream this to your audience. Now this worked, y'all, when we did it at 6:00 a.m. So then I have to go back, then I have to log in because I don't want to drop this.
No, so just stream to your audience, hit that.
And so I got to relog in.
Relog into what?
It's telling me log into your account.
No, you're streaming to your Facebook page.
Okay, it's not giving me that on my end. What it's telling me is log in, create an account to send this to your stream to your own social accounts, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn.
So you're going to have to log in then.
Okay, so when I go to log in, y'all bear with us, but why are you doing it? Click, like, and share. So log in with Google. This is not what we did the other night.
Yeah, I can't see what you're doing.
Okay, and so it's telling me to put in my email again. That's not what we did.
Yeah, I don't know what you did, boss.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to, okay, because we don't have, it's not the same thing. I'm gonna screenshot this and send this to you, but this is not and what it's telling me, like I said, it's saying the page refresh once you're done. And I thought we had that done. Okay. And so I don't know how and this is gonna look weird, but I need to get this to you. So y'all bear with me. Sorry about losing. I appreciate everybody that is on here this morning. I truly, truly, truly do. Okay. Okay. It should be coming to you what's on my screen. And then when I log in, it says stream to your audience, log in. But it's telling it's like I'm doing a whole other StreamYard account.
So you probably can go to your email and click on the link that I sent you this morning and maybe get in again.
So will it drop me?
Maybe.
Okay, well, I don't want to start over.
Well, I mean,
okay.
Let's just go. Let's just move on then. And
yeah.
There's no way that we can do it online.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, y'all. All right. Moving on. And so I sent you that. So listen, Tara, Eddie Gray, everyone that's here. So listen, I appreciate it. So we're going to do year in review. There's been a lot that has been going on this past year, and we are going to try to move quickly and swiftly. I don't know what that means. Y'all know my show go a little long. So we're going to start with year in review. So what has been going on? And so what has been going on? What have been my goals for my ward? Producer Jay told me don't send him nothing else. So I'll be having my yearly meeting where I bring all of the wards, all of my associations together. I have 6 associations in my ward. So what are some of the things that I have been doing? So Producer Jay, I think you just sent me something. Oh my goodness. Y'all, look, we are working it out today. Okay, so let's start with I'm gonna go on our thing so we can. And I did not do a running show, y'all, because there was so much, and there are some things that need to be talked about. And literally, there will be a part 2 to this, because there are a lot of things that are going on, and I like to share information once it is given to me. So one of the things that my focus has been for my ward, which is getting streets paved, sidewalks, trees cut. There were several streets which were paved, and some of the streets were major streets. We've gotten Ballinger paved, we've gotten Fremont, Orchard, Norbert, we've got Milborn, Donaldson, and did I say Ballinger? Did I say Ballinger? So some of the things that we have also done was got the pathways paid for Mott Park. So I think I sent those towards like the end, Producer Jay, like some of the things that were done. So what has been going on in the 6th ward? A lot. Anybody knows, if you call me, I'm gonna help you. And that's just the fact. If you call, you need help. We also had with Ego, Cherie came from the state of Michigan, making sure, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Arthur Whitson for assisting with that, because we had $20 million, which is a part of the administrative consent order that was not going to get passed. He reached out to me, Cherie reached out to me, and because the city was not responding. So it ended up being $66 million to make sure that those 2 pipelines were taken care of. So some of the things that were done, are they on here? So Producer Jay, there should be a okay. One of the things, here we go. This year has been a very busy year, a busy year. So there's a groundbreaking ceremony that was on April the 9th. And what this housing is it's older one, was built in 1929, which actually has a covenant restriction that Black people can't even live in them. And so changing covenants with the communities first is what they've been doing. Now I have two new buildings which are going up in the 6th ward. 10 in these buildings. What's unique, this is one of the first buildings in Flint that will have reserved for veterans. 10 units will be reserved just for veterans. This is exciting news, and we can click through. So as you click through, I can just explain. So that happened in April. It was actually a beautiful day too, that day that it happened. So one of the other things, blight. I've always encouraged people to report blight. Blight is an issue we've had throughout Flint, and I will give shouts out to Arnold Brown. Arnold Brown he will call me at 7 o'clock in the morning, and to let me know, if there's something going on or whatever. Yeah, but I do want to say shouts out to our blight team. If you see blight, 810 call 810-237-2090. This was one of the messes that they have cleaned up, where this person has kept putting stuff to the curb. Blight team pulled up, they took care of it. I always show appreciation when I see them out. If wherever they're at, if I'm not too far from the donut shop, I'll go get them donuts. And this day they were like, "You didn't come with the donuts?" I went and got them donuts. I had to catch them in a whole nother ward to get them the donuts. So an appreciation to our blight team led by Arnold Brown. I appreciate him. So this was one of the blight issues. I take more blight calls. I take a lot of blight calls. Let's go on to the next thing. I want to show you what have I been doing? What's happening in the 6th ward? So this is the day. It was a great day. This is at the groundbreaking, where there'll be 10 units that will be specifically for veterans. The other one, this is in the 6th ward. This new development is one of, we've had several new Berkeley Place, Coolidge Square, and we're looking to have one at Longfellow School, which will be redeveloped just as Coolidge Square. So great things are going on in the 6th ward. As you can see behind me are some of the apartment units, townhomes that are currently being renovated. And then there'll be 2 new buildings which will be built on this. This is the groundbreaking day where I was able to speak at. Thank you to Communities First for being a great community partner. I appreciate you, Glenn Wilson and Joel Arnold, for making sure that you're listening to what this community needs and being a good community partner with me. Let's go on to the next one. This right here, I did the creme. I did the creme, the 10 mile. Okay, I only did the 1 mile race, y'all. I only did the 1 mile. This was this year. So this year, I did the creme. My cousin Nicholas Harrison passed away, and one of the things he did before he passed away, that's him on the poster, where he was able, with help with his occupational therapist, was to walk the creme. So in his honor this year, my family, my Aunt Beverly, his sister Alicia, and other family member and friends walked the creme in honor of my cousin Nicholas Harrison. And it was an honor. It was truly an honor. So that's one of the things I support. Of course, charity events. I try to make sure I'm present in the community, making sure that I'm present so people know that it is public service and it is an honor to serve. Let's go on to the next one. This is Flint Con. This was this year, early this year. This was at St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church. St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church. Now, here's the thing. This sits in the 2nd ward. Now, we put in for them. We have food access with ARPA. It's in the 2nd ward. We have the money. This was voted down. That 5th vote would have been Liddell Lewis. She voted no to give food access to St. Mark Church. But on this day, Flint Congressman and Mayor joined an announcement of cancer disparities. The cancer cluster study has been led by Arthur Woodson, who had family members who died of aggressive cancers. This was held at St. Mark Church, and standing the person in the middle is Congressman Kildee. Making sure that we support things that are in our community, and that is Michael Clack on the other side. And so Arthur Woodson was out of town. He was on another site. So this brought all over the country, different sites where they had a conference. And so we were like videoed in, and you can see what was going on and dealing with disparities in cancer care. And this was this year. This has been a busy year, y'all. And so let's go on to the next one. And that was the cancer cluster study. That is the hard work has been put in by Arthur Woodson. And he had an event. I don't have my event pictures up for that, but he had at the Broome Center, a huge event. Let's go on to the next one, please. Scripps News. Scripps News. Days after Scripps News investigation work quietly resumed. Carrie Cochran, wonderful, wonderful producer with Scripps News. Real investigative journalist. Been working with her for, I want to say, 2 years. She ended up winning an Emmy. She did a series. She won a real Emmy. Remember her sending me, she sent me a text message and said, "Hey, Tanya, I meant to tell you that we are up for an Emmy. I don't think that we're gonna get it, but it's just an honor to be it's just an honor to be noticed and to be recognized." And so she's texting me and she's there and she says, "Oh my God," she's like, we're up against some really tough people. And I'm like, "Well, Carrie, their investigative reporting was just fabulous." They end up winning the Emmy, winning an Emmy, let me say that. And was a great big congratulations to her. What she did was they did some phenomenal work, keeping track of our service lines being repaired, that the telephone line was not working. People weren't able to get through, holding them accountable. And a lot of their work was used in court with Judge Lawson, to where the mayor was to be held in contempt of court. Service line, they kept pushing the deadlines. And so I'm real proud of her. She won. She deserved it, her and her team, working with the NRDC. And so she worked really hard and she absolutely deserved it. I'm going to read the text. She says, "Hey there. I hope you're well. It's been a while. I've had some personal news. I have to catch up. But in the meantime, want to let you and Flint know that the piece from last year was nominated for a national Emmy. We find out tonight if it wins. It's up against some stiff competition, and we don't expect it to go past the nomination. We are up against the New York Times investigating Israel and Hamas. Lester hoped for a piece on healthcare, but it's an honor just to be nominated." So then she sends back at 9:14 p.m. "Oh my goodness, we won. What the heck?" So congratulations to Carrie Cochran and Scripps News. One thing is this water crisis since 2019. People have wanted it to die. It has not been spoken about. Our mayor does not talk about it. It is still a problem. I sent you the video. I don't know if can we cue up the video at that point with the Scripps News? Did I give you the point with that one? And I'm sorry. So having Carrie win that was phenomenal. And it was phenomenal for her because people will say when you go places and travel, or even just in the next, "Flint's not fixed." What do you mean your service lines aren't done? You still can't drink your water from the tap. No, you cannot. We cannot drink the water from the tap. So here's the thing. You have the executive branch and the legislative branch. The executive branch does not talk about it. Does not talk about it. The legislative branch, we need 5 votes. And I believe September, October, the state of Michigan said they were taking over service line replacement and restoration. They are now taking it over. They've taken it over and they have been working. Where they're at, I don't know. I did ask for an update because our process is crazy. So when I say we need 5 votes, we need 5 like minds, we need 5 people. You can't do anything unless you have those 5 votes. You can raise all kind of hell, which I have. Why do you think Carrie got here? Raising hell. Work with her. She wanted keeping the water crisis alive. Her and I would talk, and we went through some personal some issues together, loss of family, and we created a bond. A lot of the things that I do, I don't put them out there. It is for the benefit of my city. It's for the benefit of, I want people to live a better life. I want people to not worry about can you drink water? Can you fill up a pot to boil spaghetti or noodles in from the tap? Right now, you cannot. One of the things, I sent another email because everything they want to go to email, which gets bottlenecked, is people with their toilets. There's a sediment ring. And the sediment ring, no matter how much you clean your toilet, this little ring around your toilet is sitting there. And this is like in a household where you have full people, not like it's not being flushed. Then you also have got people are saying they're getting strong smells of chemicals. Some are getting like a strong foul smell of like an egg smell. So the problem is, as much as we are the legislative side, we need the executive side, the mayor's administration, to also care. I don't know, were you able to find the video?
I can't. I went back, but I can't find it. It's not one that I saved originally.
Okay. And so in this with Scripps News, what they talk about is they're literally calling the line, and the line is saying we cannot get through, but they can't get through. And so working with Carrie and her team, without them, the state wouldn't have taken over the lines. The city of Flint ran out of money, and they kept pushing the deadline. They didn't have enough money to complete it. They just simply did not. So that was one of the things, making sure having the state take over to complete the lines, because the WIN funds, over $100 million, didn't complete it. There were some monies that were misused, change orders where they were people and companies were milking the system. We didn't have a DPW for over a year. We're required by the agreement to make sure we have one. We didn't have one for over a year. Okay, so let's go on to it. So that's one of the things that was happening, working on with them behind the scenes. Let's go on to the next one, please. We had the ransomware cyber attack. FBI and Michigan Attorney General investigating a ransomware attack on Flint City Hall. Flint City Hall went completely down. We had to cancel some meetings. We had things which were just not working. They took it over like they did McLaren Hospital. I believe the last that we were up, I don't even think we're 100% back up yet. I believe it was 80%, but we're not. I don't believe some of the stuff may not be able to be retrieved. So they wanted to have to be paid. They were holding ransomware. They wanted to be paid. They took over the phone systems. Not anything with the computer that was required to be used, you couldn't operate. Nothing could function. And they had problems that included getting calls out that were coming, to dispatch to the Flint police, their cruisers. It dealt with every computer system in City Hall and the phone systems. And so there was a lot that happened this year. 2024 review, there was a lot. Let's go on to the next one. Clarissa Shield wins World Boxing title in 4th and 5th weight division. Clarissa Shields, and she's got her movie out. So all of you out there, go see the movie, support her. Clarissa Shields' story is out there. Clarissa Shields is a female boxer from Flint, an awesome boxer, incredible strength and power that she has. And she wins her world boxing titles in 4th and 5th weight. I think now you can see her. Is it Remy Ma trying to challenge her? Got a lot to say. So, I don't know if that's going to be coming up. I know she does have a fight, I believe, next year. And I can remember with whom she has that's already scheduled. But Clarissa Shields, we've had a lot of great people come out of Flint. And a lot of people don't know this. And Clarissa Shields, female boxer, is absolutely one of them. Kudos to her winning the title and staying out there and just doing the thing. Girl power, woman power, Flint town, Flintstone. Let's go on to another. So these are great. So, and when people think of Flint, yes, our water can't, but there are some great things coming out of Flint. Let's go on to the next. Oh, I got to talk about this. How about them Lions? Oh, how about them Lions? Now, that's Detroit, though, but listen, Lions fans, everybody deserved to this. And I haven't had a chance to watch any games this week. 13-2, best winning season they have ever had. Period. So the Detroit Lions this year, I'm just saying, they made everybody proud. I'm actually proud. I have been kind of, you got to switch teams after they don't make it through. So I have been supporting, past a couple of, other teams because for the Super Bowl. But this year we gonna take it. Kudos to the Detroit Lions, and I am proud to be a Lions fan. Never thought I would see this. And then Patrick G says, yeah, but they will need Patrick. Don't come on here trying to rain on nobody parade. Okay, we got this. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So this was a hot election year. We had two candidates in the first ward, Carol McIntosh and Rose Morrow. Both of them had signs damaged. Rose had her building burnt not once, but twice. And so this was probably the most, for a council seat, I don't know what to call it. It was just terrible. Rose building was burnt up twice. Carol's signs were thrown on them. They were spray painted. Some were cut out of the frames. Worst campaign season for a council seat I have ever seen. And these are things that you didn't see on the news. News didn't cover this part. We did not see this part on our local news. Not at all. So let's go on to the next one. So one of the things that we have talked about, Cyrus Park Association. Now this is 810 Flint had brought this to everyone's attention. Their 501c3 status had been revoked, and Cyrus Park 810 Flint had reported this. This is one of the social medias that are on social media, YouTube. So Cyrus Park Neighborhood Association status was revoked. Now here's the thing. Cyrus Park status, which is run, Cyrus Park Association was originated and created by Councilwoman Liddell Lewis. Councilwoman Liddell Lewis removed herself as director and president, but she's still on that bank account, okay? She didn't change or in her 501c3. She's still affiliated with it, but voted to give it not only $50,000, but an additional $25,000. So she's voted to give the nonprofit she created. She's still on the bank account because it's the EIN. Only way she can take herself off is to dissolve it. She did not dissolve it. We know she knows better because she withdrew she claims she withdrew from her grocery store account where she was a member of the grocery store. But she voted knowing her status was revoked to give it an additional $25,000. So we've got council members who are affiliated with nonprofits. Okay, here we go. Now this was unfortunately a common scene, and you can see to the one in the middle. So on February the 19th, there was a council meeting. You will see we have more police inside of city council chambers. It became the norm during this year and last year that we had more police in in city council chambers. We did. This day they were called to weaponize. I think we had 12 this day. Well, the other day would be October the 14th before this one. But this one, we have Jay Nino over there that's sitting, and he was like, I'm going to jail for this. He said, I'm tired of being treated like this. I'm tired of her calling the police on us. I'm tired of being treated like this. We've had over 60-something people thrown out, and that's more than once. You will get thrown out, Warren. She does not care. Ruling like a tyrant has become the norm. As I keep stating, we are getting out-lawyered, just period. Let's go on to the next one. Michigan Supreme Court won't take up Flint City Council recall election. This was a difficult year. This year we lost 2 council members, Councilman Mays in February, and we lost Councilman Murphy in September. Councilman Murphy was in the middle of a recall election. He was being recalled by Beverly Biggs. This case went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Michigan Supreme Court stated upon the filings they received that they won't take up Flint recall election case. Will not. So the big issue was Miss Beverly Biggs had 589 votes. AC Dumas had 548. And what they said was they won't count the election. And that's not what the state said. It's what the city said. What the state said was refer to your city attorney. The city attorney, thank you for putting up those results. And we see Beverly Biggs was, she had the most votes at 589. AC Dumas had the second at 548. The city asked the city attorney, which was appointed by the mayor, and we know the mayor didn't want either one of these two, and Beverly Biggs came in with 589. The state did not certify this election, and there will be an election that will be set. We should have a meeting, I believe, January the 6th. And that's the same day that we were supposed to have our mediation with the special master to set an election. My request has been to have an election sooner, a special election than May, because we have a problem. So for those who say, well, Beverly Biggs won that race, she received the most votes. But with the state doesn't certify it, once the state certifies the race, you can't uncertify a race. There's nothing you can do. And they say, you can't fight City Hall. It's not easy fighting City Hall. I'm going to tell you, because I've had to do it twice. I did it one was with the county to get on the ballot, and I won. The second was when I was removed from my seat, and I won. So you can't uncertify a race. So in the process, whether we just showed the article where it says it went all the way to the Supreme Court, the Michigan Supreme Court. Michigan Supreme Court said we will not take up the case on the Flint recall. Looking at what the arguments were, they wouldn't take it up. So that race was the election was certified. Those votes were not counted. So in other words, it's dead. It's gone. It's gone. So I do want to say that part. So what they're going to do, there will be an election. There's 3 times a year that you can have an election: May, August, and November. It's supposed to be set. They're trying to set it up for May. We need to have a special election like Kristen McDonald Rivet, to where we have a one-time shebang and out. And so my request was, which we just, as of Christmas Day, I believe 60 days, is where we have a city attorney, Joanne Gurley. And so my request was to see how we ask the governor. We need to have this election sooner. And then so now they're talking about, oh, we're going to get a special master. I'm not a special ambassador. And I guess that one, did I send you that one, Producer Jay? Look, this is the guy, y'all. So what they have stated in the news yesterday, that the 3rd Ward will have a special ambassador, actually 2 to 3. So it says you have to, according to the Deputy Chief of Staff, Ed Taylor, you have to live and reside in the 3rd Ward. There's no qualifications. We're looking for an ambassador, which is one or more ambassadors. It can be 2 or 3, Taylor said. Now, I'm going to tell you, watch where you get your information from, because some people don't know what they're talking about. They don't. So city officials were quick to point out that the newly created 3rd Ward ambassador position would be selected by the administration. So I got some calls. People were like, well, there was someone stating that this was before, that this is related to having a ward captains. This is not the same. So you have to watch where you get your information from. This is not the same. The ward captains back in 2008, underneath a different charter. First of all, that charter expired 2017, which means it's not applicable. The new charter was to be enforced on effective date January 1st, 2018. And so the new charter is very clear. The prior charter had like 36 pages. This one has 3 times that. And so a ward captain is not the same as an ambassador. Let me be clear. So it was brought up to Sam Muma. And if you read, it's an old article, you can actually Google it. And so the ward captains were dealing with the neighborhood safety officers. They have a union. These are not the same things. A ward captain is not the same as an ambassador. I'm going to get into the ambassador. And so back then, it was legitimate to say the ward captains were not, they should not, people should not be getting ward captains, because what they were doing, they had people out there writing tickets. You can't enforce a ticket when you don't work for the city. And so they were doing the job of the neighborhood safety officer. So according to thank you, Christine Leach, we appreciate you. So according to Ed Taylor, the deputy chief of staff, I sent some questions, and it's funny because my exact questions is what the on channel 12, which were asked, which were, how will they get paid? Who will select them? And that interview was the questions I had sent to the city attorney. Now I had asked for her to give those to me in writing. So those exact same questions were asked. And so the ambassador, here's the problem with having the ambassador. If you go to our charter, our new charter, which y'all know I got one of the raggediest charters. I don't know why the raggedy one, they all raggedy that I have, because I write on my charters. So the charter is very specific. And the charter speaks to, and look, some of y'all be able to recollect. Page 5. Now, remember when the mayor was doing all of these blue ribbon committee, yellow ribbon committee, ARPA committee. ARPA committee was meeting secretly at the library. The administration was not coming telling the truth. They just were not. So these were the things that myself and Councilman Mays challenged. So I was made aware that they were meeting the ARPA committee. We didn't choose the ARPA committee, they did. And that's not what they're supposed to be doing. And so it's very clear on page 5 of the Flint City Charter. Now, the Flint City Charter states, and thank you for keeping that up there, it states multi-member body. A multi-member body means any board, commission, ad hoc committee, advisory committee, any group, however designated, composed of more than one person and acting or perpetuating to act in the exercise of official duties. Y'all, somebody tell the mayor he ain't following the charter, page 5. You can, or Ed Taylor, you cannot have, you talk 2 or 3 people. That is a multi-member body. That has to come to council to be approved. You don't get to select it. You don't get to select it. Page 5, he stated, not my article, his out, a multi-member body composed of more than one person. It has to come to council. That's a fact. That's the charter. So I don't go back and forth with people who don't know what they're talking about. But this one is clear. You cannot. So this selection of these people, who the question is, do they have a vote? No, they can't. You have to be an elected official to have a vote cast. So basically their only function so far, what they're stating, which we know it's not going to be true, is to take phone calls. When Councilman Murphy passed away, the same as Councilman Mays, I told the city clerk, if anyone, you can tell the council people, send the calls to me. They can call me if they have an issue. I don't have a problem with it at all. And so council members, where I know I've taken several calls, and I would hope there's something in my absence that someone would do the same for me. I've always stated that. But you can't just go making a special ambassador. But let me tell you what the special ambassador is going to do. Everywhere the mayor is, he's going to be there saying, this person, Jane Doe, is doing a fantastic job. She's doing a fantastic job. It's the third ward ambassador, getting free publicity, making sure that this person is out in front. Wherever the mayor be, whoever those ambassadors are going to be with him. The mayor does not want guaranteed Beverly Biggs or AC Dumas. And Kerry Nelson was not he was elected. He was voted out by Santino Guerrera. And then Quincy beat him. And then in this election that was not certified, he came in, I think, fourth. He came in fourth. And so they know they have some problems. So with our legal department, this is a multi-member body. You can't just have someone functioning in the capacity of a council person. That's not how the charter goes. That's not how it goes. So here we go with this rogue administration, and just more problems. Okay. So what we're going to do, I sent it to our clerk. Lord knows everything takes a kabillion years to get back, but you can't just create this and have this person serving to represent the third ward. You can't do that. This person isn't elected or people, because there's going to be 2 or 3. That's a multi-member body. It has to come to council, period. So let's go on to the next thing. So I hope that clears up anything for people, because I want them to understand this is something that is different. Now, is it slick what the mayor's doing? Absolutely. September 29th is this article is dated. It says the city of Flint mourns the loss of third ward Flint City Councilman Quincy Murphy. Councilman Murphy, we knew had been sick for a while. I respect people's privacy, and it was a loss to the third ward and to his family, who absolutely adored him. So this was his loss. We lost 2 council people this past year, and so Councilman Murphy, may he rest in peace. Let's go on to the next one. Jade Williams has a resident from the third ward seek a lawyer to try for a lawsuit. You have the candidates. That's really their responsibility to do that. The residents coming together, it's just a difficult time, I think, for them to do that. But the candidates should. I know it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they did not win. That one, they refused to take the court case up. And so the election was not certified. And so therefore, when it's not certified, it's not considered, it's a moot point. So one thing I do want to talk about, we had, I believe there were over 10, I want to say 12 children died because of gun violence or a result of guns this year in the city of Flint. That is alarming. We have got to get a better control. Gang violence is a huge problem. We had 2 children this year who guns were not properly stored, who were shot. So here's one, Article 5, youth shot in Flint in last month. City leaders address violence. Still don't have a public safety plan. We just don't. I mean, before I was elected, I've been asking, we need a public safety plan. We need one specifically targeting our teens. Families are grieving. Let's go on. Young girl is critically injured in shooting on Flint's north side. This is in September. This is, I believe, I don't know if that was one, because this one. Oh, let's go on to the next one. We had 4 who were shot while sleeping in their home, in the safety of their home. 4. One was a 7-year-old. One was a 3, and I think 3 and 11-year-old, and then we had a 12-year-old, I believe. This one, troopers were told teen to stop fleeing, drop gun at least 7 times before shooting him. I need to follow up on this one. This is the 17-year-old who was shot. Is shot to corner Pasadena and ML King. They said he had numerous gunshots to the back. His name is, I believe, Javon. And I don't know if they released that video yet, but there's been the amount of children being shot in the city of Flint is alarming. And 4 while sleeping. That's just this year. That's not including the prior years. We've had an increase in children being shot since 2019. Let's go on to the next one. So gun violence on children is serious. And the gang violence, we do not have a gang task force yet. Let me say that. We do not have a gang task force. We should, with the amount of shootings that we have. We don't. We don't have a public safety plan that really addresses the issues that you hear, that you vocal, that we know about. We don't have that. So let's go on. It doesn't state you can remove. The only way you can be removed from your seat is by recall. So this video, so I was removed from my seat for 30 days. I took it to court and I won. Thank you to my attorneys, Attorney Johnson and Attorney Makowski. I won my case. I was removed for 30 days. Councilman Mays was removed for 30 days. And then he was removed December 20th for 90 days. He took his to court. He did not prevail. He did not. His cases, he did not win. While Councilman Mays was serving his 90-day suspension, he passed away. So going through some of this footage was hard. Let's roll the tape. Discipline. It doesn't state you can remove. The only way you can be removed from your seat is by recall or by the governor. And those are the two ways. So I do have an attorney. I have hired an attorney and I'm moving forward.
Tonight, a member of Flint City Council finds herself temporarily removed from her seat. Councilwoman Tanya Burns says she was suspended and escorted out of last night's meeting. She says the discipline is a form of retaliation. Our Tiffany Maddox joining us with details of why Councilwoman Burns says she was suspended. And Tiffany, what's the councilwoman's reasoning behind this retaliation?
Matt Burns says this form of discipline is due to her providing Flint City residents with documents in a place easily available for all to see. Burns says the behavior of the council needs to change. However, others I spoke with say the suspension should give her time to reflect.
Councilwoman Burns, an officer is coming to escort her out of her seat.
This council, unfortunately, has been a difficult council. I've never seen a council like this.
6th Ward Flint City Council member Tanya Burns says Monday's 30-day suspension all stems from a social media post that poses allegations against certain council members.
So when you start exposing truth, they get mad. They get mad. I listed the truth. It's on my social media page. And my residents, that's what they want, is the truth. That's what I ran on.
The truth, she says, are documents alleging certain city council members are engaging in practices that violate the city charter, like accepting bribes and misusing ARPA funds.
When they asked me what was happening with ARPA funds, I listed it on my social media page and I talked about it. And not only did I talk about it, I listed the proof. No council member should be voting to approve their own resolution that they're affiliated with.
Flint City Council President Liddell Lewis was traveling but referred ABC 12 to Vice President Candace Mushat. Mushat voted in favor of Burns' suspension. She says there's no retaliation. It's Burns' behavior inside the chambers that got her suspended.
It's just the constant, right? This isn't the first time she was given a censure before. And a censure essentially serves as a warning that, the behavior or conduct that's happening is disruptive to the council process and it's unbecoming for what we represent. After giving her a censure, the behavior continued.
The only way you can be removed from your seat is by recall or by the governor. So I do have an attorney. I have hired an attorney. And I'm moving forward.
She will be welcomed with open arms, that we are more than willing to continue the work that we're doing. She is an elected official. And so we will do our best to work in cohesive fashion with her.
And Mushat and Burns both say that the council's main job is to care for and represent the residents of the city of Flint. Mushat says council should correct council on conduct, and this suspension is a way of holding each other accountable.
Y'all listen, I'm going to keep talking about She voted to give herself and committee $300,000. Liddell voted to give $25,000, $50,000. They have done that. Councilman Leon Alameen got $30,000. He got $1,800 in June. He is set to get $150,000 for his Maid Institute. And I'm not going to take away from his party for Maid Institute. I'm not, because he's done some nice housing. But you should, for me, it's a conflict of interest. You should not be voting on, and according to the charter, you need to recuse yourself. Recuse yourself. You're voting to give your own nonprofit you created money. That's not what you should be doing. And yes, I fought for my seat. And yes, I won. Yes, I won. Thank you, Attorney Terry Johnson, awesome attorney, and Attorney Mikowski. And I got another one, Attorney Randy. So I want to say, with that, you fight for what you want. And if you don't like who your attorney is, get rid of them, get another one. Every attorney, you may not work for you. I had a great attorney before when I won with the county. Alec Gibbs, great attorney. And I'm going to tell you something. When you are, the fight has to be within you. It has to be within you, but you need the people. Councilman Mays needed the people. He needed more of the people. I need the people. And I appreciate everyone who is on it and everybody who has supported me. I am thankful and I am grateful because I'm not giving up. That's what they want. And the censure was literally on my censure, y'all. It said, I told Liddell Lewis she was not a nice person. That is the first thing. The second was I turned my back on Quincy Murphy. I have not cussed anybody out yet. I have not. And trying to maintain that. Those are parts that are on my, the censure didn't have to be true because the 5 lawless ones voted on it. They're lawless. And absolutely, I took my case. My attorney kept telling me, look, let me go ahead and take care of something. And I said, nope, let me sit in my seat. I knew after Mays, and it was right after Mays came back is when they gave me after the funeral. He was funeralized. You don't give up. Sometimes you may need to take a break, but you don't give up. It is the hardest thing when you have people in this community with what I fight for, and then I got to fight against the haters. It becomes too much. It becomes too much. So when I went to court, let's play that. Or is that just a clip? Court rules that Flint City Council can't remove council members, only suspend them. A 22-page decision was written by Judge Brian Piquel. Thank you, Judge Brian Piquel. And thank you, Attorney Johnson and Mikowski. And so I don't know, were we able to get the part, or were you able to get the part with my attorney to play it?
You remember it was from that outlet with the strike.
Okay. So, and I'm going to have him on one day. He is the coolest attorney. We are very good friends. He has he thinks he's funny, but his sense of humor is this attorney has won 5 cases. His first case he won was against the metal detectors. It's the same attorney that this group, and then there's another one. I don't know if Woodson is using this, but Arthur Woodson uses. I first met Attorney Mikowski and Johnson when I was going through the metal detector and through the front door, and they told me I could not carry my firearm. I am licensed to carry. And I told him, you did not see. I said, did you get the injunctive order from the judge? The officer told me no. I needed to go talk to the mayor because the mayor would have to give me permission. Mayor doesn't give me permission. And I told him, I said, no, you are violating my rights. You got to know your rights. I said, you're violating my rights. I said, I'm going to go to my meeting, which has been scheduled for a year prior. You can tell the little man in that office that I'll be on the 3rd floor if he needs me. And I went to my meeting. And so I contacted, because they weren't supposed to stop people. The judge had made an order, you cannot stop people. And he refused to follow the order. The only thing that Mayor Neely understands is court. And he even defied that 2 times afterwards. He doesn't understand anything but court. You have to take him to court. You got to beat him with the legal system. He doesn't understand anything else. And people who think they're going to charm him, no, you're not. When he says something, he's going to do it. Just like House of Esther, he locked the doors. Their stuff was stolen. The building was stripped, then set on fire. Same thing he said with Hasselbring. He's closing it. He doesn't care. Only way to beat him is in court. Only way to beat him. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Because this was stressful this year, y'all. And then I look at some of the people and some of the stuff, and it wears on me. It wears on my family. I think some of my friends, they've seen me go through it. And it's not easy because you live it. You live it. Let's go on to the next one. I appreciate everybody who has supported me. I appreciate you. Someone said, I wish Mays had better attorneys.
Council adjourned with nothing done. Tonight's special meeting was called to appoint council leadership and handle ARPA funding resolutions, but that progress is still on hold. This comes after another night of breaking quorum because there were not enough members present for the meeting. Trey Harris has the details.
They have a habit of saying y'all fighting. It's not y'all, it's those four.
Complaints during tonight's special meeting of the Flint City Council, where members tried once again to vote for a new president. They started at round 413 and failed again and again. By the time they made it to round 450, council members Judy Priestley and Candace Mouchette suggested moving forward to other city business. That was voted down, leading to more voting and growing frustration.
I will adjourn for finance. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I'm going to leave as well. Okay, thank you.
You see them getting up, leaving, breaking quorum. Each time we are to select a new president or vice president.
Mouchette argues the council does not need to elect leadership to conduct the city's business.
There's work that we can do right now. We can still vote on other city business on resolutions. It's just not being taken up.
Not in attendance tonight, 2nd Ward Councilwoman Liddell Lewis, who reportedly was ill, and 1st Ward Councilman Leon El-Amin, who had a death in the family. But factions among council members are being looked at skeptically by people in attendance.
1st Ward, 2nd Ward, 4th Ward, and 7th Ward is playing a lot of games.
Shortly before the meeting was adjourned, Councilmember Tanya Burns brought up a letter sent by Mayor Sheldon Neely, announcing that in January, the city will be taking over servicing the Hasselbring Senior Center after problems with the vendor that had been overseeing operations. She says the problems there only added to the lack of trust between residents, city council, and Neely's administration.
We do not take care of our seniors. Our seniors have held it down in the city of Flint, and everything on the north side is always taken away. I get residents are frustrated, but understand what our fight is for. We're fighting for the residents. Should we just be quiet and not say anything?
In Flint, Trey Harris, TV5.
So I don't even know how many rounds we didn't win y'all now. Will we pick a 3rd ward person? We will not come to an agreement. It will not happen. It's not. It's going to have to be done. We have the special master. It will not be done. We will not come to agreement, in my opinion, until there needs. That's why my suggestion and my request is to have an election sooner than May, like they're doing for Kristen Donald Rivette, who I believe she's taken Congressman Kilday's place. That's what needs to be done. We need to have an election sooner because we're not going to agree. And it's just not going to happen. So can we go to the next one? Oh, October 14th, y'all. Can we pause it?
But they asked me, what would it hear that?
So October 14th was a conspiracy to incite a riot. Councilman Murphy's family was invited to come to council and went home and did a video. No one has been arrested, charged, or anything from this. Great job, Chief Green. So let's play the video. This is October 14th.
You're too old! Yeah, you're too old!
But they asked me, what would it take to get me a yes vote? I hear that. I hear.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Let's pause the time. Okay, we can't have the audience yelling out. Okay, we can't have the audience yelling out. Everybody just remain calm. All right, finish. Go ahead, Dennis. Can we please stop yelling out?
And let's stop selling lies to the public. We have 30 days to fill that seat, and the clock is ticking the day after someone passes away. So we don't have all day to figure this out. We must, as my colleague in the 3rd Ward always said, and when you said that he's just a puppet with a hand up his ass, when you made that comment towards him, we're just trying to get done the business of this city.
All right, so this is what's going to happen, because I've asked several times. And so as I'm identifying people that are yelling out, you're going to get your warnings.
Oh, okay. So in the back corner.
Pardon me,
in the back corner.
Point, officer.
In the back corner.
Now see, this is what I was saying. Y'all letting this stuff slide, and somebody gonna get hurt up in here. Somebody gonna get hurt. Y'all letting it slide.
Council will remain at ease.
You're too old. Yeah, you're too old.
You was on Facebook talking shit too about my uncle. So you be quiet. You gotta tell everybody to stop and be equal. Don't pick sides. That's all I'm saying. Don't pick sides. Tell everybody to chill. Everybody is grown as hell. Y'all acting like big ass kids. That's all I'm saying. Everybody needs to chill. So say everybody, not just us.
And it's not. She done cussed everybody out. Everybody got a gun. Somebody got a gun. Somebody got a gun. Somebody up in here with a gun, they say. They say somebody in here with a gun. And we got one police officer. Any other time, they had 10, 12 police officers.
Well, then after that, they went home, and it didn't stop there. It didn't stop there. That day, 12 females came. That was the day of the 3rd Ward, first day of the hearing, where they were telling people who they were going to get. And you hear them. They went home and video recorded themselves and talked about it and put it on video, who they were coming to get. Liddell Lewis wasn't made aware of it. Candace Machat, Judy Priestley, they knew. They didn't move from their seats. The staff went running for the exits. They knew what was going to happen. But the one thing we have in Flint, people just think that they don't stick together.
That's the fastest I've ever seen the administration move. It normally takes them 2 minutes to get to the podium.
Closer to the lectern. And take them forever to get to the lectern. They went over some tables. Some of them went over the tables like they was Olympic track stars jumping hurdles. They were gone. The one thing that everyone should be safe, the people who come, the residents, the staff, the city staffers, and then council. That day I had to be taken home by officers who said, because I've had death threats before, and I had to keep that one up there. I had to. The officer says, Councilman Burns, you're coming with us. We're making sure that you leave this building. So I had declined numerous times before, letting them full transparency that I didn't want escorts because I like my freedom, and I've had a tracker put on my car and other different things. And so wasn't a choice this day because the threat was serious. So Jessica says, you got suspended for telling Liddell she wasn't a nice person, but nobody was even charged for these crimes. You're 100% correct. 100% correct. Well, I'm not done with that suspension. I'm not done. I'm not done because it was an illegal suspension. It was based on lies, and the 5 of them did it. So I'm not done, y'all. And my attorneys are not done. Okay, Makowski, attorney, I call him Attorney Rainey if I mess up his name, and Attorney Johnson, not done. Okay, so can we put one where they went? We got the one where they went home and just cut up. Do we got that one? They went home.
Yeah, I don't have it. I deleted that one some weeks ago.
Okay,
I can look for it, but I don't have it.
Okay, all right, and I can look for it too as we're talking, because they went home and look, shocking. I mean, who goes home to incriminate themselves? I mean, who does that? That part, I don't know. And so, is that the disruptive one? Yeah, that's the disruptive one. I don't have the one that, no, I think this may be it. Yeah, I'm going to send this to you. They went home and decided to videotape them, I guess, Instagram and do stuff. Nothing has been done. Nothing has been charged. Me and Chief Green had some very, some words. My threat was credible. He claims it's not credible. It wasn't a credible threat. They on video, y'all. Nothing was done. Nothing. Not only were they on video, went home and did on video, they on video up in the council chambers. They turned it out. They showed their behinds up there. I sent it to you, producer. So let me know if you got it. When you got it, throw it up there on the screen. Went home and recorded themselves. No one has been charged. They broke the disorderly conduct. We know that people have been arrested. People have been charged for less, put out of council chambers. They were not even warned when they were up there and turned it out. Weren't even warned. So if you can, did it come through? I got to sneeze. Oh my God.
Yeah, give me a second because it's
okay. Bless me. Thank you. I knew that was coming. So when we look at, they went home to cut up. Who records themselves and admitting to we violated, we threatened a public official, which according to the charter, which I went back and forth with Chief Green, and I'm not done with him yet. You have a job to enforce public safety. You talking to him don't mean nothing. It don't mean anything. You have responsibility because they strengthened on September 23rd, the disorderly conduct, which means they should have been arrested. There should have been statements taken at the scene before they even left. They should have been detained. Okay, let's play it.
They wanted me to talk. Man, Liddell no happy as hell. But they went up. They wanted us to talk. Yeah, they wanted me to talk. Liddell don't want me to talk. What they wanted you to say? Whatever I was gonna say. They didn't want me to say nothing. They wanted me to say mine. They knew I was coming for her. They knew I was going for her. They knew I was going for Tanya. Yeah, we shut it down. All the police ain't gonna look. One of those in the jail don't look. We was
So you cannot make this stuff up. They went home. So according to the disorderly conduct subsection 31-10, they should have been arrested. They broke and violated the disorderly conduct. Then went home and made a threat to an elected official, which is a violation of not only the state law but our city law. Nothing was done. So do you feel protected in this city? I absolutely do not feel protected. Absolutely, I do not. When that type of behavior is okay, it's okay to threaten an elected official and nothing is done. Nothing is done. This is okay. And so, Christine Lee, the corruption is bigger than us. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. You know, the lives of a Black woman, it definitely doesn't matter. You know, when things get tough or whatever, they want Black women to fix stuff when it's inherited and it's a mess. You know, and this is, I mean, you got everything on video. And then they went home and did another video to incriminate themselves. And he did nothing. But let's move on.
Thank you. Walk it up, bro. Walk it up. Thank you. That's it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you calling people bitches. Are you ain't do that? If you don't intimidate me, you don't intimidate me. Yeah, this is not fair. That's all I'm saying. No intimidation here, Piper. No intimidation here.
Y'all need to take y'all That's some bullshit.
I'm hearing you.
That's some bullshit.
They gonna get enough bitches up in this one. You don't get enough for that with the president. Just raggedy. You better get
So here you have Liddell Lewis refusing to sit in her assigned and designated seat per Flint City Council rules. She sat in the seat number 9, and Councilman Pfeiffer was in between Liddell and Candace. That entire time, 2.5 hours, they just went at him and berated him for over 2 hours, to the point to where, one, I definitely felt that there was going to be an interaction, without a doubt. I definitely felt that. And there was a lot going on. Let's move on. So December the 20th, Councilman Mays, I want to set it up with the first one. There's 3 clips, and there's two in the TikToks, which are producer Jay I sent to you. But I want to show the one where he says, it's a TikTok, when you think of my home going, don't worry about me. And I want to do that one first. And I sent that one to you in the TikTok. And then the second one I want to do is the day when he was being walked from his seat. And that's from the video, but it's the end of the clip that shows. And then the third one will be the last day he spoke at the lectern in January, at the podium in January. Christine Leach, you said, I'm gonna cry. Yeah, probably me too. So you won't be the only one. And when you listen to what he said at the lectern, let me tell the people who have betrayed him and who have betrayed his trust. Councilman Mays had some people around him who were not serving in his best interest. They were not. So producer Jay, I don't know if you you can see climate. I don't know where you're at. You're queuing up. Do I need to send it back down to you in the yeah.
No, just give me a second. I'm trying to cue this TikTok video is a little different, so I'll get it in just a second.
So Merck 76, he died still fighting. He was never the problem. Merck, he said before he died, he wanted to change that council.
Don't do that.
When you hear my home going. I better hold on for it. I be back with you. Let me get my script. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Can I get an amen?
That may not have been the best clip, but I'm telling you, when he did that, Tia Harris has a beautiful voice. And she was there. She started singing. When you think about, I can't sing your home going, don't worry about me. And she started singing. And that was one of Maze's favorite songs. And so that day was so emotional.
Yeah, my name is Eric Mays. I am the.
Let's play that one last. I want to play. Can we play the video with him being removed first, December the 20th? Because this was his last meeting. Can we play the video, December 20th? And I think it was the end clip where they have voted to remove him from his seat for 90 days. Yeah, that one.
So councilman, stand up. Please, you're in our space. You're in our space. Council, stand at ease. Let's hear you begin.
It's not a hobby. It's your empire.
Okay, that one. And there's two parts to that one. And that was the day that was his last day. Police escorted him out. They voted him to be removed. As we say, we know you cannot win when I win my case, remove an elected official from their seat. He was removed from his seat. He did not win his case. And Mays went into, he was hurt. The system was not working for him. He had been removed already for 30 days. They were removing him every single meeting, just about. Almost every single meeting they were removing him. Then he got the 30 days. He got removed for the 90 days on December the 20th. While he was out serving his 90 days being removed, they were removed for frivolous reasons. And let's remind you of this. We've had those council members, Liddell cuss out people, called me a bitch. She didn't cuss out. She used to cuss out Mays underneath her mask, y'all. When she would wear that mask, she would be cussing them out. And every so often he would check her. I'm a checker, but she would do that. You've had their behavior has been deplorable. It has been deplorable. So this was the day that he was removed. So let's play where his last day that he spoke at the lectern. And I know that's the TikTok one. And so I know he said those are hard to queue up, or they queue up in a different way. But when he spoke, that's when he had his little two-piece, men's wear, a whiskey color outfit on. And he speaks in this once he gets this one's on TikTok. Once he gets the TikTok up, you will see Councilman Mays speaking and saying those were his last words at the lectern, at the podium, on how things need to change on that council. His last words saying he wants the council changed. Now people got a problem with the council being changed. I mean, you some of these, you can't win for losing with them. You really can't. Tracy Jones, I know Eric had siblings. Candlelight. Let me check. So maybe we can go to that December, because was it Publix? That was January. I'm ready. Let's hit it.
Yeah, my name is Eric Mays. I am the first ward city council person elected here in the city of Flint. For 30 or 40 years, I've not seen nothing like this politically in these council chambers. I've been in these council chambers listening to Chester Simmons, Woody Eckerly, Melvin McBree, Woodrow Stanley, and the like. I'm gonna be frank with you. I'm appalled at the 3 black council members, Liddell Lewis, Quincy Murphy, and Kendrick Michelle. This city is majority black. I don't have to be ashamed to talk black, white, rich, and poor, Democrat or Republican. I'm not gonna bite my tongue. When you can try to shut me down and remove me from exercising my freedom of speech, but we're a smart community, smarter than what you know. When I walked into Christ Fellowship a week or so ago and seen the community leaders, many of them, Rita Stanley, her dog, the NAACP, Black Lives Matter, CBAC, the Democracy Defense League. I've seen us. And we are the ones who speak in this city. When the vote was taken, even though the issue of this wrongful removal was a center of attraction, I agree with the masses and the majority that 40 million need to be talked about. $40 million to the general fund allocated, and how am I going to watch it and make sure that every dime is spent before 2026? I don't even see the logistics of it. But regardless of that, why put it in a category of money when people have told you for over a year, give us 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, fix our roofs, our houses, generational wealth, and they're the ones who vote for you, and you turn your back. Michelle, you were there, Liddell Lewis was there, Quincy was there, y'all gonna be in a surprise. The Lord is good, because guess what? One of them is gone. Worthy. If we write 600 signatures on you, Liddell, y'all have messed with some of the wrong folks. I ain't no way it's time. God bless the residents of the city of Flint, and we need to fix this town.
Councilman Mays, February 25th, he passed away. When I got the call, I called 2 people. First of all, I called Jerry, because I didn't want her to hear from anybody else. And I called Carol. There were so many people who came who came. We sat there in my vehicle until after May's body was removed to make sure it's properly done, because you're supposed to flank the vehicle when it was removed from the home. I did receive a call from attorney Joe Canizo, and he called and asked me, was it true? And I was at the house then, and it was true. Mays had stopped talking to people. I would go take food, leave it at his house. Jerry went to visit him. We did a caravan over there, but I would go like every other day. He would talk through the door, or sometimes he would not. But sometimes I just left food on the door. I wanted to make sure he had something to eat. Dr. Pugh called me, Dr. Pamela Pugh, and she called me. She said, Tanya, she says, Mays ain't answering. Mays always answers his phone. For his closest people that he's known for forever. These are the people he was close to. So Pam called me, and I said, hey, get Poochie on the line. I said, he gonna answer for her. He wasn't answering for really anybody. And so Poochie got on me, Pam and Poochie were on the phone. And I said, Poochie, I said, he's not letting everyone that was going was saying he's not open up the door, he's not open up the door. And I said, Poochie, he'll get out, he'll do that for you. She said, okay, Tanya. So the three of us women, Poochie was like, okay, I'm gonna call him. He agreed to go to Leo's Coney Island. He went to Leo. This was two weeks before he passed away. And he met her. And I know how to get him out. Poochie is the one he said he called his second felony for. And that was his second felony. And Councilman Mapes had his stories. I would call his relationship, he would call them love story. I would call them love tragedies, because none of them ever worked. And she got him out the house, and they met, and she called me, when they left, and she says, China, he looks really bad. She says, but he said he's had a virus. Well, now we know he had something more going on. It was tough. Last thing he said at that podium was to change the council, because the people are not being taken care of. Okay, I thought I had a Kleenex, and I did not. I don't know if y'all remember the time when he cussed out everybody over we were at the Dome or the county, and they messed with him so bad. And on his way out, I remember when he got home, I was like, well, we were talking, and he was like, well, you know what? I said, man, you cussed out everybody. He was so angry and frustrated. It never mattered that they were shutting down his war or mine. It didn't matter. The frustration came out. And people don't, Councilman Mays was a graduate of Michigan State University, a very smart man. And he passed I think it's the LSIP the first time to be an attorney. He said he called his first felony because he met a woman in college. And whatever happened with them. And they did him dirty. We later learned that he was sick, but when you fall into a deep depression, it changes you. And the lack of them not having a conscience at all, they didn't care. They kept removing them until they were trying to break him. Mays lived for council. He lived for politics. He was a union man. He loved politics. And a lot of the things, I didn't meet Mays when we came on council. That was not when I met Mays. Mays' father was married to Pastor Mays, was married to my Aunt Martha Mays. And me and Mays had a very long friendship. Very long. And genuine. It was like family. We'd be at the same dinners together. But Mays didn't have his driver's license. Y'all know when the little laptop issue, the driving on the wrong way on the freeway, I would take him home. He would come to sit and chill in my office. He would do this. Mays would catch the city bus, y'all. I'm like, Mays, you ain't got to catch the city bus. Just, my office a couple blocks down. I said, just come. I got you. And we would just sit up and talk politics. And that's just he lived it. Removing him illegally from his seat. We do know, after me going to court, winning my case with a 22-page decision, as Judge Brian Vacate said, you cannot remove a person. There's only two ways. One, by recall. Two would be by the governor. And it has to rise by the governor to the level of cause. It has to rise to the level of cause. I continued my fight because Mays was, he deserved better than what he got. A very misunderstood man. This is his son, Hakeem Eric Mays. He was buried. It took a month to bury Councilman Mays. And I will say, Lentil Law gave him a very nice home going. He had a very nice home going. One of the things in his home going that, to me, what I did not want, there was supposed to be, and it gets difficult, funerals are, especially with family. Mayor Sheldon Neely was to speak at his funeral over Mays, and Liddell Lewis. There were going to be three speakers: Pastor, Reverend Daniel Moore, Reverend Dr. Moore, and then there was supposed to be Sheldon Neely, and then Liddell Lewis. And all I could say, and I would tell Jerry, y'all give me a second, give me a second. Okay. I didn't want, and make no bones, I told you when I worked for the mayor, Mays was part of getting me fired every day, y'all, I'm gonna tell you. Because the staff was instructed to not take his calls. So Mays would call on my cell phone. Mays had every phone number that I own. And so he would call on my personal phone, my personal business phone, and then my personal cell phone. And he'd be like, hey, Tanya, I need this. What I had stated with him was, when I worked for the mayor, I was not going to let the first word go without. So he would call me. You don't stop serving the residents because you don't like Mays. Now, I will say this, y'all. Mays cussed everybody out in City Hall by every Friday, everybody, usually by Thursday. He had been and went through every department, told everybody off, you ain't doing your job, you ain't doing this, and da 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 da. He was raising hell up in there. You know, I'm on the orchard. Who work here? You got folks around here. We don't know who work here. He would do it every single week. And so he would call me and like, hey, I need this, or can you take care of this? And absolutely, because our friendship was rooted, our relationship was rooted in true friendship. I was not going to allow, and I did work with John Groff of Lentil Law to bury Mays. I couldn't see Mayor Neely standing over Mays at his funeral. Mays despised Neely, despised him, despised Liddell even more, who put him out every meeting she could, then for 30 days, and then for 90 days. I was not going to allow them to preach or to speak over his body while he was lying in state during his funeral. I did work with John Groff, and they gave Mays had a beautiful home going. And all I could say, I remember telling Jerry, I said, Jerry, I said, can you imagine Mays with Mayor Neely standing over him? I said, he would be resurrected. He would come back to say, I can't believe y'all MFers let these MFers speak at my MFing funeral. I can't even MF and die with MFers messing and effing over me. I said, that would be him. He would be so outraged, because what I knew and believed in my heart, he wouldn't let them speak at my funeral. He would not. And when you have a friend, you support a friend. In life and in death, you honor them. In life and in death, you honor them. Mayor Neely shouldn't even wanted to speak at Mays' funeral. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have. So we're going to move on from this, because this one, as Mays would say, it's a bit much. So I miss him. And I fight because he would expect me to. He would expect me to. I received one text from him asking me, when he actually didn't call. It was like, you still up? It was like 3:00 in the morning. We would call each other at any time. And I missed that. And then when he started doing TikTok, he would literally be on TikTok and he would be singing, y'all. And he had this really bad, Patrick Jean is on here, because he would be on there. He would be singing this song, and me. I'm like, man, stop. Just stop. But he was a funny guy. He was a funny guy. And I miss him. We miss him. I think each of you who supported Mays miss him. I think we miss him. His relationships, you knew who he liked, you knew who he didn't like. Mays was very transparent. I remember somebody being in the studio and Mays had invited them. And I'm like, why did you invite them to the studio? And then they got there, Mays said, I just remember that MFer was talking mess about me. And he had his own radio show on 98.9. Matter of fact, Clack was there in there. And Mays didn't care if he liked you, you didn't. You knew. So Jasmine says he will be dearly, he will be missed. He's the voice. Look what's happening now. First ward, Hasselbring. Who was fighting for Hasselbring? Not the first ward person. He didn't even show up to the Hasselbring money. The Hasselbring show. Hasselbring meeting. I'm sorry. So, all right, back to the business. All right. Listen, I bring you these shows not because I get paid. I take $0. So when they tell you that is an absolute lie. I have a producer. Anything that you donate, it goes to making sure we can fund these shows, and they take a lot of time. If you would like to donate, it is greatly appreciated. Please donate to Cash App, $producer J87, $producer J87. Anything that you donate is greatly appreciated. We truly, truly do. And that's not the one that Producer J. Oh, you did the barcode thing. Now, look, I started out with sinus, and this did not help. Okay, so we are going to stay on a, you can leave that up while I talk. So if you like to donate, Cash App, they're kind of something, they go to 100% to Producer J, and it's $producer J 87. So I done got lost in really kind of like where I'm at. And let me tell y'all something. Mays he was a friend to everybody. He had relationships different with some of everybody. So to those who speak about my relationship with him, y'all, some of these people are some great liars. I mean, spectacular liars. Spectacular. So let me, before we're going to leave it up, but I want to get into, can we put up the article about the $55 billion at the Monday Township? And I want to go over that. And we got 3, maybe 4 slides. I have said to everyone, get involved or get left behind. Hasselbring, get involved, first ward, or get left behind. It's important that you do, because if you don't make the decisions for yourself, they're going to make them for you. Monday Township has a $55 billion project, and I'm supporting the project coming. That is my decision. I'm supporting economic growth and development. So Flint, get involved or get left behind. History often repeats itself. Every time there's a reason for progress, where does progress begin? In Black neighborhoods. Where do they put highways to? It's for eminent domain. Black neighborhoods, Detroit, Flint through the St. John's area, Houston, Texas, anywhere where you see a highway, it went right through the Black community. Designed that way. It's the same thing when we look at what Hasselbring. These are lands which have large acreage. In Genesee County, the $55 billion project, which I'm supporting, we have to make sure we take care of our people who are here. We have to make sure that we get involved to have our voices. The master plan, it's changed. Now it's called Imagine Flint. It was Imagine Flint. And now they're getting input. So with this, the chip company, it's going to produce 10,000 jobs. And so for each job, they're saying that each job presents a place that a person has to have a place to reside, a home, townhome, or a place to live. And so they're estimated 10,000 housing, one home or one housing per person. And so where are some of the places they're looking at? One house investor, 25 acres. They're going to be incentives for down payment on houses for this. Hasselbring sits on 15 acres, so 15 to 17 acres. They just did $30 million in the school. Flint Northern has been set on fire so many times, it's just ridiculous. It sits on, I forgot how many acres that it sits on. And so we have to make way. One thing about Flint, we already have the infrastructure. So it's a plug and play. You already have the water system, which is still in repair. Now the state is fixing it. They have taken it over from earlier this year. You have to have highways. We have highways, we have airport, we have railways, highways, byways, railways. And so the infrastructure is there. You can build a house in the neighborhood, tap into the water, and boom, you're ready to go. And so it's an easy setup to build. And so they're putting in even new fiber optics, and pay attention to what is going on. You see them repairing the fiber optics where there's no houses at. Now, all of they're improving our infrastructure. And they're improving our infrastructure because they want to change things. So one of the things when we talk about them changing, I want to put up, can you put up the 3 slides? St. John's was a thriving area. And they were a thriving area, which was a Black area, self-contained. And the pardon me?
I'm sorry. Which ones? I'm sorry.
It is going to be 3 slides. I think I gave them to you last night, and they're like look like typed print with a typewriter. And first, we can probably put up like one of the stores or something with St. John. Maybe I can send that back to you.
Yeah, if you can send it back, and I'll go through it now if you want to keep talking.
Okay. I thought I had sent. Okay. I'm gonna send it back. Okay, I just sent you the pictures. And so this was St. John's area, which is a thriving Black community that they put 475 through, tore it down, removed them, displaced people. But it's never equitable when it comes to Black communities. It's never, ever equitable. And so what they did, and I know Mrs. Jared is on it and Papa Jared. I had to call the historian last night, my daddy, because my dad is from St. John. Columbia Theater was in St. John's area, and they had the St. John's Meat Market. They had a dentist's office. They had doctor's office. It was self-contained. What they did was come through eminent domain, and what they did was make some decisions for people in our community. And they listed, I'm going to send them back. They listed how they were going to change. It was divided by how many white people, how many Black people. Color shouldn't have mattered. It shouldn't have mattered, but it does matter, the color of your skin. Don't let anybody tell you that it doesn't. So I sent those back to you. So one of the things, and I need to, I'm gonna go back down to the bottom. One of the things when you read in the documents, we are not too far past discrimination. And if we think that the color of our skin doesn't matter, think again. So if you can put the documents up, did they come through? So in this plan, and we need to pay attention because Flint's going to change again. So I do have of course, I read the entire plan. It's like, this one was like 70 pages. And it talks about assurance of relocation of project for residents and standard housing within their means. So they took homeowners and put them in what they consider to be standard housing, which was public housing. And eventually what they named and what people will call them is the projects. So they displaced it, broke up the Black community that was thriving. So in it, some of the things that I found to be interesting that they talked about. And these documents are old. Yeah, that's the one I think I've got up now. It says include a feasible method for relocation of families who will be displaced from the area in decent, safe, and sanitary dwelling accommodations within their means and without undue hardship to such families. Okay, and when I'm reading that, I read that there's some undertones in that. So feasible. They took people who were homeowners in a thriving community. Eminent domain means you don't have a choice. They give you the dollar amount. You got to go. And this is what they did. And it's funny because now they're saying we want to shut that off the expressway and do a loop that before it was 35, 40 years ago, it was progress. Now we want to loop it and forget the progress. We've run the Black community. We've broken that up. We've stopped Black prosperity. We've stopped generational wealth. We stopped businesses that were thriving. And then when they say and decent and safe, okay, decent and safe. So it lists in another one who the people are and how many families. And they listed it by race. And I'm trying to find that one. And I apologize, y'all. Look, they typed this stuff up. So my purpose for bringing this up is to be aware. So the program calls for relocation of 206 families and 121 individuals. Proposed rehousing for those families and individuals according to the individual preferences, needs, and requirements are as follows. 81 families and 16 individuals are scheduled for relocation into private sales. 24 families and 36 individuals are scheduled for private rental housing. 101 families are scheduled for rehousing into public housing, which is known as they call it, the projects. We don't get the same. There is one, and I thought I had put it in there, where it literally breaks down the race. How many white families, how many Black families, and it breaks it down. And so when we know that when they remove our people, you know, we don't, it's not an upgrade. It is not an upgrade to go to the projects. It's just not. You have no equity. You don't own it. You are forever a renter. You can't pass a apartment or housing on. And then let me tell you how dirty they did to people at St. John. They built public housing on a land or marsh to where the government had to come back and say that those buildings, those apartments that they put them into are being torn down because they just slapped something up there where it shouldn't have been built. Those buildings have mold in them. They cannot be used. They shouldn't have been built there. So guess what they did now? Clark Commons, if you're in this area. Clark Commons over in Smith Village is a result of that. And so they moved these families again. So you end up with families who at some point lived in the St. John area. Anytime you get Black people, they displace us. They put us in public housing. That's all over America. What do they offer other people? Down payment assistance for a house. What's going to be offered for these 10,000 housing that's going to come to Genesee County? Down payment assistance for a home. Understand it. Either you get involved or you're going to be left behind. And we'll get into this at a later date because I want to cover this. So as I'm reading and researching and seeing things, got very angry because I'm not too far removed. My dad grew up in St. John's. That's where they live. But they didn't go to private. They got another home, my grandmother. And so when we look at this, absolutely, Kiwanis, Atherton Terrace on the floodplain, which is now over in, there you go. Kiwanis has been put out at the city council about 2,500 times. Thank you for coming to support Kiwanis because you do show up. And now those families are moved over to Smith Village over in what is now called Clark Commons. So that's their producer Jay. Give it up for producer Jay. Yes. And that's now where they built Clark Commons because they cannot, Atherton Terrace has to be torn down. So HUD, Housing and Urban Development, has made sure that they have to be removed because it's mold growing in and it's on the floodplain. It would flood all the time, but they did anything. And what did they say? Decent housing. Wasn't an upgrade to go from your house. They put you in decent housing. And anyways, we're going to put those Black folks in whatever. They don't care. We're going to throw them over there. No, there's no generational wealth. There's no equity in an apartment. And not even in Clark Commons. They're townhomes. And those right there are prefabricated. Those are prefabricated. So we're going to start something new. And we're going to go into this later. But I do want to go over. Thank you, Producer Day, you on. There is a call-in number. So if you want to, go ahead.
Just to let everyone, hold on a second. Let me put me and you on there together.
We got what, less than 10 minutes?
We got 20 minutes. That Clark Commons was not planned either. The picture.
And that's where they ended up at. So displaced from St. John's, a thriving Black community, placed over in Atherton Terrace on the floodplain, now relocated again to Clark Commons, where we know other families are allowed to create wealth, pass the homes on to their children, to their grandchildren. You can't pass an apartment on. Well, listen, y'all, we're going to take some questions. So if you want to call in, please be respectful. Please be respectful. The call-in number, he was at the bottom. Where the call-in number go?
Yeah, because I'll put you off now. So don't call in with no food.
He said you'll put him off for this. So listen, if you want to call in, you're welcome to call in. But until then, there's the number 470-310-3143. If you want to chat, you want to make a statement, you want to say, let's keep this an adult conversation. Feel free to call in. Feel free to call in, but make sure you please be respectful, like you was raised right, please, because you will get put in the box. Click. So, but we're gonna go unless there is a call. So feel free to call in. I see some of the people who are on here who have some really good perspectives that I haven't heard their perspectives in a long time. I see Jessica's on here, and I see she's on here. But I mean, we have to pay attention to what they do to our communities. And Hasselbring, if you think they're putting $30 million in the school for the kids in just that neighborhood, come on. It is easy access to 475, not far from 475. And we look at House of Esther, which was, and it sits on almost 25 acres, will be a housing, and let me say, I believe in economic development and growth. But make sure we don't tax out the people who are there. Let's make sure we don't tax out the people who are there. Do we have our first caller?
Give me 1 second.
Y'all, this is the first time, so work with us, y'all.
Okay, I think it should be. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, welcome to the Tiny Bird
Good
Show. What's your
morning.
name? Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from?
I kind of want to tell you thank you for, being transparent when it comes to your show, and you're communicating with the residents and with the world about the city of Flint. And also thank you for pointing out the truth to all of the misinformation that's out there about Flint City and how the 4 council persons are continue to vote and hold your ground as far as when it comes to the tactics and the antics of the other 4 and the mayor. So I just want to let you know, appreciate all that you do, continue to do what you're doing, and thank you for your transparency.
Thank you. Now, where are you calling from? They hung up. Well, thank you, caller. I appreciate that. Producer, I'm gonna put the number. Someone said put the number in the chat. Look, I can do that. So now I know there was another caller. Call back in. And let me tell you, this is something together. And I appreciate, if you are out there, I appreciate the support no matter where it comes from. And one thing you do learn, you gotta have some thick skin. I mean, you are not gonna be in this if you don't. You just not. And it is what it is. Hello, caller. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Hello?
They hung up. Let's pick it back up. And one thing you do learn. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello? Hi, Miss Burns. This is Lorna from St. Louis. I look at I've been looking at council for 2 years now. I started looking at it when I was in the hospital 2 years ago. And Mr. Mays, and he was a wonderful man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, I believe, didn't understand him. When he has a passion. He has a passion for political and making sure that the people are taken care of. And the way the council members did him, I truly believe that they were wrong. I believe that Mayor Shirley killed him. I believe that he went to the governor and to have him totally removed. Lydell, a bigger liar than Sheldon. And Michigan is in a hot mess. People got tired of fighting, or people are scared of repercussions. It shouldn't be no reason why Lydell, Colleen, Judy, and Candace are sitting up there. And then with you all last election you all had, and Miss Beverly won, then it's like nobody's standing. Where are the people? Where are her helpers that's supposed to be standing behind her? If they voted for her to be in their seat, they should be fighting to keep her in their seat. Nearly, he's more than corrupt. More than corrupt. He's worse than Lydell. Candace, she sit there. She may think she's looking good with that lipstick on, but she's another one. She's another one. Corrupt. And yes, she's going to try to get her $300,000. Well, her $300,000. And I think that's just a shame that Flint, Michigan is corrupt from the top to the bottom. And why they don't see it is beyond me. I don't even live there. I live in St. Louis. And I look at it every day. I used to be on the phone with after the council meeting, and Miss Jules and Mr. Mays be talking. You'll come in there sometime. Miss Carter coming there sometime. And I remember him sitting there singing me. And he said he was going to sing me at the council meeting. And he did. And you turned your head from laughing because he said he was going to do it. But Mr. Mays was a wonderful person. He only got loud when it was needed to. But they didn't have the ear to hear what he was saying. And the only thing Lydell did was come up in there so she can get money and make a fool out of everybody on that council meeting, on that council seat, and the residents.
And I don't think, Producer Jay, can you hear me? Because I don't think the caller can. Caller, can you hear me? I don't think that, okay. And we're having some technical difficulties because I don't think that the caller can hear me. Okay, if you're calling, who can hear me?
I said they cannot hear you for some reason.
Oh, the callers cannot hear me. Thank you, St. Louis, for calling in. I can't interact, so that is something that we have to technically work out. So, and I agree, Councilman Mays was not understood. He was not. He clearly was not.
Hold on one second. Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay, so if we have another caller, keep calling in. I want to hear what people are saying. I can't interact because you can't hear me. So we're working through the technical. Y'all, this is the first time. And this is Producer Jay's idea, y'all. So listen, call back if you were calling and didn't get through, call back. If you were calling and you didn't get through, call back, please.
All right, I got one on for you. Give me 1 second. Okay, caller, go ahead.
Can they hear you though?
Yes, they can hear me.
They can hear you, they just can't hear me.
Correct.
Okay. So you're gonna have to navigate this then.
Go ahead, Paul. Yeah, go ahead.
We can't hear the caller. Did they hang up?
That will be given to the city to sell because of due taxes. When is that coming up? And what can we do to prevent that bulk sale to happen again?
Okay, I know that was Michelle. I know that voice, and I did not hear the first
Second
part.
question is there any way that we can get the third ward election on the same ticket as Rivet so that they won't have to do a additional election and we can get more voters out because there's another major election on the ticket? And the third thing is, how long are you giving everybody to talk? And there's something weird going on with this phone. When you call this number, it was saying the Google number is not available. And what do you want us as citizens to do to help the Hasselbring? What are the 2 or 3 things that we can do besides a letter? Do you need people to sign up to be members of Hasselbring? And also, I know you said they needed money for a lawyer, but explain what other things we can do to help the Hasselbring Center.
Okay. Jay, you have to tell her thank you. She can't hear me. So I know that was Michelle. If you can't get through. Okay. One, we can't have with the Rivet.
You got everything I said?
I got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
We cannot have it with the Rivet election because she was in a different territory. So we can't. So we cannot combine that one. Those are different boundaries. Already asked that question. What can we do to Hasselbring? Show up for their lock-in, give them a call. Beverly Lewis was on the best way to help them is to give her a call because her needs may change daily. They're on Facebook, connect with them. She also wants people, you can go to Hasselbring on Facebook, donate to their GoFundMe. They do have to have an attorney. They do. Flint After Dark said, get an Obama phone. Okay. So, if you did not get in, so the call-in number is 470, and I can't respond. We will be working this out. It's 310-3143.
I got another one on from Charleston.
And you're gonna have to monitor it because I can't. I mean, I can't interact with them. Okay.
All right, I got somebody on from Charleston. I think she said Charleston, South Carolina. So give me one second. Yep, Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, they can hear me? Okay. Hey, Miss Burns, well, Councilwoman Burns. I wanted to tell you thank you. I'm a historian. I love history. So I just wanted to tell you thank you for bringing up the highways issue. Most people don't realize it because they don't like to teach, Black American history in schools. And I focus on that. But the 1956 Highway Act allowed them to run like highways through mostly all the Black communities. So you were absolutely correct when you said, when you go around and you driving on these highways, you literally have a Black town or a business district or a community under it. Just like with the lakes, under most man-made lakes here, there's a lot of Black towns. A lot of people know of the one in Georgia because I'm from South Carolina. No, they're all over. They're in Alabama. They're everywhere. California, Nevada, everywhere. But anyway, back to the highways. I do want to thank you for bringing that up because a lot of people don't understand that and they look at it like, okay, well, they're bringing, apartments or whatever, in your neighborhood. And it's like, no, you have to build generational wealth. And that was the whole reason of throwing our towns underneath, these highways or these lakes or even under these centers and stuff so that they could kill the generational wealth. And unfortunately, they did. Just because a person of another race smiles in your face or acts as if they're a friend, it doesn't mean that they're not benefiting from something financially or that they're a friend. In the words of Malcolm X, there's a difference between somebody being friendly and a friend. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but that is the truth, and we have to realize that. So I just want to thank you for bringing that up. Like, I know you talked about Flint, of course, but there were places like Sugar Hill and Los Angeles, California, as well as the Sugar Hill in Jacksonville. They're sitting underneath the highway. You got Frogstown in Savannah. You know, you got Black Bottom and Paradise Valley sitting under I-75 and I-375 in Detroit, Michigan. You got the freeway, Independence Heights. Part of that sits under I-45 in Houston. You know, in Nashville, you got Jefferson Street sitting under I-40. These are all prosperous Black business districts where they were generating generational wealth that they destroyed. And like you brought up eminent domain, yeah, eminent domain is still prevalent today, because I'm a part of the Geechee Gullah people, and I'm a descendant, and they are literally still taking their land today. What they can't put under highways, they're taking it through eminent domain. You got a brother, a family, a beautiful family, I'll say this lastly, in Georgia. They are going through the same thing where his family owned 600 or 700 acres of land, and they literally are taking a portion of his land as well as a few others. I think they're privatizing it, and they say they're going to build railroads. That has always happened. Oh,
listen, I don't know what.
As Black people, I'm hoping that we can all realize how important generational wealth is. And I stand with you. I'm not from Flint. I stand with you, but I thank you for bringing that up, and I respect you so much. And you have a good morning.
Thank you. You too. So listen, I have got a call because you can't interact. So I'm gonna put on my phone. You can reach at the 47. I know we're gonna be coming off. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, we got like 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, and okay. She's done now because we're.
Right, last call.
Yep, this is the last.
I'm calling back because you didn't answer my first question. This is Michelle Young calling again. So my first question.
I didn't hear it because you were not in my queue. That was why I couldn't hear your call.
Okay. So I'm talking about what happened last year or this year with the bulk homes that were sold due to taxes being behind.
This year, the city has got a new program, and the program they're staying with the city. And so we're running out of time. So the city.
Okay, but what can we do to prevent anyone from losing their home?
Even
if it stays with the city, they don't own it anymore. Is there something that the public can do? Anything we can do to prevent a bulk sale again?
That is not going to be a 2-minute conversation. The county has a program, and the city has a new program called the Hope Program. And so I can table this to our next one. We may do one in between. I do have to get off. 1:00 is my producer's deadline, but there's a Hope program and then there's a county program. And then Flint has a new program that they have actually been instituting. So I will get into that later. But Michelle, I got another call coming in. Okay, thanks. So this is, hi caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? This is going to be the last call. Hey, Jessica.
Hello. Well, there's 2 things that I wanted to cover real quick. I know this is the last call. So the first thing I want to do is talk about the all-out assault on Black female leadership, whether she leads in vocalizing issues or whether she leads in the public sphere. And so I think that part of what's happened to you and what I and a lot of other people have seen is a pattern of the attempt to purge the Black female voice, to punt her back into the private sphere. And so I think a lot of the attacks that have been leveled against you are part of that effort. I think that a lot of the attacks that have been leveled against Carol McIntosh have been part of that effort. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement. I hope you recognize what that is and stand strong against it. I think that we are heading into a national landscape that is going to see the Black woman be under attack in ways that I think current generations don't understand. Our grandparents understood it, and our great-grandparents understood it, but I think it's going to be an emotional, psychological, and physical shock to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I definitely want to give you some encouragement. And I also want to thank you for, after you've addressed the issues, returning to what's important. So what's happening with the seniors. Sort of giving us a reminder, residents and concerned citizens from all across the country, a reminder of what's really at stake in Flint. So it's not about how we feel about what somebody said about us on social media. It's not about who we amplify. You just went back to your role as a council person. And contrary to what other folks would like to believe, I think that it is very possible for a council person, a public official, to walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yes.
It's the folks that can't walk or chew gum that need to be concerned. But I think that you're doing a fantastic job, both as a podcaster and as a council person. You are not going to please everybody with the decisions that you make up on that dais. Trying to do so is an exercise in futility. But again, for what it's worth, you do have lots and lots of support. Even as you have to stand in the tide of haters, miserable people, and white supremacist garbage people who want to go after you for support.
Well, I appreciate it, Jessica, and we're going to do this a little later. I appreciate your perspective, and I have not even gotten to the part where I didn't finish my year in review, so there will be a part 2. So I want everybody to click like, share, and then notifications. I have to be respectful of my producer's time, and we're going to start the call-in number earlier as we worked out this kink. So I'm gonna say goodbye to you, Jessica, and click back in. I appreciate it. Goodbye. Thank you for calling.
Thank you for creating a fun, lively, respectful, and a community that's actually tolerant of different questions, of hard questions, of tough questions. Thank you for respecting folks who have hard questions, and thank you for actually having the capacity and the emotional maturity to try to answer them rather than punting people out of the community because they make you uncomfortable. Thank you for that.
All right, thank you, Jessica.
Bye-bye.
So listen, we're going to finish. I didn't even get in into my year in review. So producer Jay, I know we are past time.
I was about to call Adele and have her to put you out now.
Listen, look, y'all, please donate to, and we can throw that back up to Producer J, Cash App, $, Producer J87. 100% of this goes to him. 100%. And if we're ever, and I like the call part, Producer J. So next time we'll use my phone because you know what? I want to hear from the people. And we got other things to talk about.
For some reason, we did test it. So it's just something that I didn't do right, but we'll figure it out.
And we'll test it probably 4:00 in the morning when we're kind of go through stuff because we didn't even get the Facebook up. But listen, we will probably be planning another day to finish and go up some stuff because we got to get everything up and going. So I appreciate each and every. Go ahead.
No, I said, look at that comment on the screen.
Producer Jay, you mean Mr. Taylor? What is that?
Ed Taylor.
Mark 76, you cutting up in there now. Listen, that's fine. I do want to say this. Let me say this. I do this podcast to bring factual, true information because a lot of our information is not put out there. I do my job. It's technically set up for part-time, but I do it with unpaid overtime. I have met my goals and exceeded them with streets, sidewalks, with my blight, getting those done. Making sure I'm aware, dealing with gun violence, helping and assisting, making sure I am present 24/7, which is a problem with my family. Making sure that if your family, and I've had people who have been shot, getting rid of nuisance homes, getting rid of nuisance stores, getting an apartment building torn down. I never thought that in my tenure would ever be done with my residents. I sent hundreds of letters to Judge Bell. The Boundary Square was finally torn down because the Genesee County Treasurer had extra funds. I am working my part-time with full-time with unpaid overtime. And I don't mind doing it because I love my community. So to each and every one of you, Producer Jay, you are awesome. You was on that Clark Commons thing. I don't know, we was meeting here, but you had me. And I want people to understand, get involved or get left behind. Our community is going to change. Everyone should be talking about this. And I want people to get involved. I want you to be made whole. I don't want them to be placing you in public housing where you have no generational wealth, where you have no equity in the home. I don't want that to happen. So let's work this together. We're going to come back to this. But listen, donate, Cash App, $ Producer J87. And Tara said part 2, Tanya, I'm going to look at my sister. We tried some new things and we had some technical difficulties, but we're going to work it. We're going to work it out. We're going to work it out. We're going to work it out. And to all the callers, be ready because we're going to do the call in again. So Producer Jay, you are awesome. We'll figure out a time. And to everybody, if I did not call your name, charge it to my mind, not to my heart. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for giving me your time. Click, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And yes, we will have a part 2. We're going to have a part 2. I don't know when, y'all, because I said this was going to be it, and it wasn't. So listen, I want y'all to have a wonderful day. Today is Saturday. I don't want our part 2, maybe, but I'm going to check with Producer Jay. But click for the notifications. As Sheena back then says, click the notifications. Click the notifications so you know. And I can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. All right, Producer Jay, anything you want to close out with? Because you the man.
No, that's it.
All right. Look, y'all, enjoy y'all day. Have a wonderfully blessed day. Peace, love, and let's throw that music on. And thank y'all for giving me your time.
It's the time, yeah, burn. Show, tune in right now. Like and share, our city needs that vibe. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Till your burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With